Okay, everybody. Welcome. We are on the next episode of the story thus far. Um, let's get a little refresher, a little reminder of where our intrepid band of heroes left last time we saw them. Daedalus, Terra, Barag, and Terra. You suffered a crushing defeat at the hands of a beholder that fled upon invading the material plane. You were recruited by the port city of the Ashburn Moorings. The group met the half-orc merchant, a half-orc merchant by the name of Z Ned. And after some autographs and some tense negotiations, the group had bartered a discount for all future purchases. Barag and Daedalus, you both sought the counsel of the gnomish fortune teller in the port city of the Ashburn Mooring. Barag, you were told that even now events move against you for past mistakes and misdeeds, of which you're not even aware of making. She also warned you that there's an impending darkness that is coming closer and closer. However, she didn't have any idea as far as the disease that was kind of racking your body. Daedalus, your reading was quite different. Your spirit was actually pulled from your body, and you were taken to the Fey Room. There you had met Rebella Lileth. She's one of the oldest and most revered denizens of the Fey Room. Having presented herself as a beautiful elf with large, colorful butterfly wings, she proceeded to tell you, Daedalus, how proud that she was of you, and alluded to the fact that you were not the first to take her as a patron, or in this case, a matron. She also warned of a terrible future that you must be prepared for. As your spirit was leaving the Fey Rune to return back to its body, you got a quick glimpse of her true form, that of a unicorn with a multicolored mane. Meanwhile, Talvis, you had met the Fellman, a Fellman by the name of Thrashadi, and he advised you to head north to the Ebru Nova. The followers of Talos, they're a brutal and unforgiving religious sect who believe that chaos, murder, and destruction are the rule of the day. Normally an organization that operates from the shadows, these fanatics have recently become more emboldened and strikes against civilian populations in a city called the Lorwick Dales. Once the city fell, the Ebru Nova was built atop its bones. Talvis, you were also told that Praetor Zayinda Zane wished your presence, and that they were just awaiting a raven with a message to destroy the moorings. Talvis, you also, so basically he pulls out a map and tells you where the Ebru Nova is. Before you left, you did see a bunch of weapons, you saw maps, you saw plans that guaranteed the destruction of most of the Ashburn Moorings, with the exception of the port itself and a blockade which would guarantee a 100% kill zone. No one in the Ashburn Mooring would survive if that raven left the Ebru Nova. You were a little shaken as you walked out of the Talvis, I'm sorry. You were a little shaken, so you went to find the gnomish fortune teller, only to find the spot where her shop was completely vacant. It looked like no one had been there for years. Before heading out to visit Terra's ailing father, you guys drank heartily while listening to a band of 4 half-orcs scream and bellow throughout the night. The following day, Talvis, you tapped into your pool of divine energy. Now having grown more powerful, you were able to remove the curse that had been afflicting Barag since the beginning of the campaign. While saying your goodbyes, you were shown the new flag of the 4 travelers, which depicted you guys on the flag, silhouettes of you guys. And after hilariously mounting and riding your horses and your canine alike, the four of you made it to Taernsby Village, which is Terra, it's your home. And you made it back home. Your father, like Barag, had been suffering the effects of a curse. Your father had pretty much made peace with you, and he was prepared for the next leg of his journey. Talvis, you'd snuck in to his chamber in the morning, and much like with Barag, you repeated the same ritual, and you did end up curing Terra's father. However, because of that selfless act, your holy symbol of Talos had grown dim and damaged. However, you did save an innocent life. And onward continues the journey to the Abu Nova, Daedalus, Terra, Talvis, and Barag. You guys are currently in the Halfling village, the Taernsby Village. So what would you like to do?
So I'm gonna turn to the rest of the group and say, I need to get some sleep. It's been a long day, and march into.
Well, it was the morning, so.
Was it?
Yeah, because you had snuck in the morning.
Well, but then we went through that whole scene though with Barag, and so I guess we could. It might still be the morning though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's still early in the day.
Okay. What does Talvis know anything about the security situation in the town? Guards, anything to that effect?
There is no security situation in the village. In Taernsby Village?
Yeah.
They're halflings. So
okay.
they kind of don't think the way humans do. They never go to war. You never hear a nation of halflings going to war with anybody. It's a completely foreign concept to them.
Okay.
So for them, they generally are a very peace-loving race, more so than any other race on the material plane.
Okay.
So yeah, there's no sort of security situation. A lot like the Ashburn Moorings, like everybody kind of not polices everybody, but everybody looks out after everybody else there. So there's no real security situation.
Okay. So I'm gonna go into the house where Terra's parents live.
Sure.
Because we're still staying there,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So I'm gonna go in there and try to find one of her family members.
Well, her brothers are over at the dining room table. They are enjoying a second breakfast, a hearty breakfast of smoked meats and eggs. The eggs are purple in color, and they're just kind of laughing. It seems like your visit has buoyed the family's spirits, who have really suffered since Terra's father had taken ill. So this is the first time in a long time that they've been able to smile and joke around, kind of like the way they used to. Her brothers are Davrick and Danzin. Danzin is the younger of the two.
Okay. I'm gonna sit down at the table with them and just grab a piece of meat and start eating, and look to both of them and say, so this is my first visit to your town. Do you folks have a temple around here of any kind?
Oh no temple really. We're just simple farm folk, crafters, leather workers, things like that. No weaponsmiths or swordsmiths. So, yeah. How have you had the opportunity to look around the village yet?
Not too much. No, we've had our hands full.
Well, we make a decent mead, but I hear the Ashburn Moorings makes a better mead because of their.
So we do have a bit of experience with the mead in Ashburn Moorings.
I would love to go, but to be quite honest, I'm petrified to step outside of this village.
All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen.
And by the way, thanks. We really owe you a debt we can never repay.
You may find a way one day.
No, I hope so.
So I'm going to stand up and just make my way back outside.
Sure. Barag, Terra, Daedalus, what are you guys doing?
I'm gonna actually head inside and look for my father.
He's fishing out by the pond.
Okay, so I'm gonna head towards the pond.
Sure.
I'm just gonna tap him on the shoulder and say just, "Hi, well, we best be going soon, Papa."
So soon, child. You just got here.
Aye, well, we've got other plans, and you know the man that cured you. He's in a bit of a pickle.
Do you know that he's in a bit of a pickle?
I thought he said it to the group. No.
Well,
I know he said it was urgent.
I
He
said
had to
that
get
it
somewhere.
was. I had to go somewhere, but I did say that I wasn't in the position at the moment to
say specifically
what was going on. Not to say I never will, but
right. So all you know is that you're going to the
Okay.
Abernova.
He needs to get somewhere, and we need to go travel there.
I feel like you just got here. Is there? Listen, if you have to go, then I understand, child, that you have to go. You were never quite like your brothers or really anybody in the village. Very few halflings get the wanderlust, but you know, when they do, it's unsatiable. But unlike last time, I will not exchange harsh words. I will just smile, kiss you on your cheek, and tell you that you will always have your home open here. And please take care of yourself.
I always do. Just a couple of scars here and there. You know how deftly hand I am, Papa.
Don't tell your mother. She will kill you.
Oh yes, we don't need another incident like that one now, do we?
Right. Terra. So he just kind of puts his pole down, kind of gets up, and he's like, he puts his hand on your shoulders, and he's, please, be careful, child. It would kill me if anything happened to you.
Don't worry, you.
I know, but just let me say it. Just please be careful.
I will.
And continue to do good work. Help people when you can.
I only learn from the best. Ain't that right, old man?
I hope so, because sometimes, sometimes people need a little help.
I'll try and be a little more patient.
Wow. Okay. Well, I say we end this conversation on a high note.
Yeah, don't need me taking back my own words.
Yes. So let's go meet the boys for second breakfast.
Alright, that sounds good. I miss Mama's cooking.
So you guys happily walk across the dirt road to from the pond to the front of your house. He has waterfront property. So, Barag, what do you do?
All I do is I smell meat pies and fish in the air, so I go crashing through the door of the little halfling's home.
It is the first time in a long time that the smell of food that you have come to enjoy so much has not managed to repulse you in any way. You don't want to vomit from the smell. You finally have your appetite back. So yeah, you're ready to tackle this thing.
So I crash through the door and I launch myself onto the table and I sit and I chow down.
All right. So Davrick and Danzin are just kind of like taken a little aback by you, by you're attacking the food. So they're like, I think we're gonna need some more, Mom. So there's like she's happily cooking. She's never had this many guests in her house, and considering that you guys saved her husband, she's more than happy to cook for you. In fact, you are under the suspicion that she may be cooking a few meals for the road for you guys. So, and it's fantastic food. So, Daedalus, what are you doing?
I guess I will be joining them at the table too, just to get a little before the
For second breakfast?
Yep.
You're gonna have to fight Barag. I need you to make a sleight of hand check. This will be contested because you may not get that last little bit of food on the table. So make a sleight of hand check, please.
This one, right?
Yes. What is that?
19.
19. And what's your sleight of hand modifier?
I don't think I have one.
You do.
It says 1.
1? Okay, so modify 20. Alright, Barag, he's reaching for the last handful of bacon. You're going to have to make a sleight of hand check if you want to get it out of his grasp. So go ahead and roll a d20, please.
Alright, that's gonna be my bacon.
What'd you roll?
3.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Nope.
So Daedalus happily grabs that. He snatches the last little bit of bacon right off that greasy plate. Daedalus, it's your victory. What do you do?
Guess how many pieces are there left?
It's a handful.
It's like
It's a handful. But he's, to Barag's credit, he's already eaten quite a bit. This is your first opportunity to eat.
I do eat most of it, but I hand one back to him.
All right, there you go. Sharing is caring. So Daedalus gives you a little bit of bacon.
Hey, thank you for the last little bit of bacon there, my friend. Nom 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 nom.
There you go. Oh, goodness gracious. I wish I could take inspiration away for that. So what do you guys do?
I'm gonna start looking for Talvis.
So I'm just outside right now.
Just
kind of
outside the house?
taking in some air and thinking things over.
Okay. So as you go to join the rest of the family for second breakfast, you see Talvis outside. Kind of off to the side by himself. Mics don't pick up hand waves, guys. You're gonna have to actually communicate verbally.
So I'm going to actually head outside, but I'm gonna turn to the group and be like,
well, you are outside, but you're heading in the house now?
No, I'm heading towards him.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just turn to my dad and just go, I'll meet you inside. Make sure those bumbling fools don't break the table now.
We'll do, daughter. We'll do. Not too long.
I'll try and make this short. So I'm gonna head to Talvis. Do I see that he's like worried or like what's his expression?
I don't know.
Talvis.
I'm just standing.
You know what?
there.
Make a perception roll. 13. What's your perception modifier?
And my proficiency bonus.
Are
18.
you proficient with it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 18. What is your passive?
Passive perception. I still don't have it written down for some reason. Is that?
What's your?
It's wisdom. Passive wisdom perception.
So what's your wisdom? 16.
Yeah.
Okay. So she kind of can tell that you're wearing a little bit of a worrisome look.
Hey, cleric, how you doing? You don't look so good.
I'm doing all right, pirate. How about you?
Hey, doing all right considering the circumstances.
Yeah, I'd imagine you'd be feeling quite uplifted after the events of the past day.
Yes, but too many questions. Too many
Yes.
answers I seek that are obviously not here.
Yes, it's a familiar feeling.
What about you?
I'm just taking in the air. I imagine we have a long trip ahead of us, so trying to relax while I can, I suppose.
Listen, between you and me, how important is it that we get to this place of yours?
Oh, I'm going to be saying hello to an old friend. It's about as much as I can say at the moment, but something tells me you'll find out more once we get there.
Are they a part of that creepy ass cultish looking sons of bitches that you guys are with?
Well, that's in a manner of speaking. Yes, she is, but who else we may find there, I truly don't know.
Oh, good God. Okay, I guess we're going to go see the creepy cultists.
Yes, well, we've already got one, so.
Oh, that is true. That is true. And you are starting to lighten up to me. Maybe you folk aren't so bad.
Yeah, well, as long as we're working towards the same ends here, I see no reason to put an obstacle in my own way.
Do you think your friends there might know of the curse that my papa might have had, or do you think they might know of anybody that might have came through here?
If they do, it's more a matter of getting them to share such information.
I bet you can get them to share, can't you? You guys are a part of the same little groupie, I guess you can say.
All I will say is that you can't take anything for granted with these folks.
Aye, great, now I'm starting to get worried. I better go inside. You look like you need some meat on them bones.
I'm actually feeling a little bit worn out. I think I'm gonna take a rest and I'm gonna head inside.
I need you to make another perception check, please.
11.
Okay. You do notice that the holy symbol that he wears is looking rather weathered, more weathered than it normally is. It's usually very bright and shiny.
Well, I did kind of put it under my tunic
did you?
thing though. Yeah. In the
Okay,
last session.
He doesn't have it.
Okay.
So you go inside?
Yes.
So as you walk inside, you see Barag looking rather happy with himself, with an empty, greasy plate in front of him, and Daedalus is sitting across from him, and they're both kind of like staring at each other at the table, not saying anything, and Daedalus has a little bit of bacon hanging out of his mouth. Looking like a very happy elf.
Hi boys, I take it second breakfast treated you well.
Aye, when does the third breakfast start?
Mama, when does the third breakfast start?
2 hours! 2
Aye.
hours!
Hey, 2 hours then, men.
Not soon enough. I crave more meat pies.
So your younger brother, Danson, kind of like leans over to you and he's like, you know, that boy's, he kind of points over to Barag, and his blood is just going to turn into like curdled pig fat. He ate a lot. I'm concerned.
I don't be concerned. Wait until you see him with the mead. You think this is bad?
Well, luckily we don't have much of that around here. We have a little bit, but.
Thank goodness. We don't need another incident on our hands.
So, sis, you're sticking around, yeah?
Alright, well, we gotta be heading out soon, but I do plan on visiting a little more often.
Okay. All right. So, well, where are you going? Why are you going?
Well, I've been traveling with these bumbling idiots for quite some time, and they need a little help every once in a while. I gotta keep track of them.
So your older brother says, he kind of like, you can see that he's looking a little upset, and he's like, I think this Davrick, I think that your responsibility is to this family, not, you know, going around doing what you do, finding treasure, and, you know, slicing people's throats.
Alright, how many times do I have to tell you, Davrick? I chose this life.
Yeah.
Let me live it.
Maybe if you were here, what happened to Dad wouldn't have happened.
You're testing me, patience. You better shut your mouth while you still can.
So he's like, no, I don't think I'm going to.
Okay, you got something to say now? Say all of it.
Oh, I'm saying it. I think you should stay. I don't think that your life is life on the road in the open sea and putting yourself in danger and...
Aye, and being a farmer's wife, popping out children every freaking 5 minutes is gonna be a good life for me. I don't think so. We've already had this conversation before, and I am saying it again. I will go out, and I will adventure.
Yeah, but what if what happened to Dad happened because of something that you did?
Well, we will make sure that it doesn't happen again.
This time. But what about the next time?
it won't happen again. I know probably what might have happened, and I will fix it.
You know probably what might have happened.
Yes. Will you
which
drop it?
Which really means you don't know anything.
Can Talvis overhear any of this?
Yeah, it's getting loud. It's getting heated. Even the younger brother Davin is kind of like, oh.
Okay. So I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna walk into the room where they are and kind of gently pull Terra aside, see if I can get her out of that immediate zone of yelling.
Sure.
And I'm just gonna say to her, "How about this? I have a little errand that I need to run. I think I can get it done fairly quickly. And while I'm doing that, perhaps you could stay here for another day or two with your family and ease your brother's concerns and can turn into a bit of a win-win for us."
I don't know. It don't feel right. I don't want to stay here in this goddamn yokel town. I left here for a reason, Talvis.
Ultimately,
I mean, I love my family, but there are some things that I just can't do.
certainly wouldn't ask you to stay any longer than you want to. I'm simply offering you a chance to mend some of these wounds that are clearly visible with your brother, and in the meantime I can get done something that may in fact help us on our journey.
Did you even prove it with the elf and the dwarf? Or are you just coming to me on your own?
Frankly, I'm not seeking your approval, but I will need to talk to Daedalus because he has something that will get me where I'm going a lot faster.
Why don't we talk about it with the boys? I'll deal with my family later.
Fair
Well,
enough.
the boys are right in the kitchen. I mean, you guys are right there.
Oh,
We're
in the
just talking
kitchen?
about
I
like
thought
they're not
you
It's
were-
there.
like you're talking like they're not even there. Daedalus is just slowly eating his bacon, eyes wide open, not knowing what to say or do other than just.
I thought we were pulled away from outside.
No,
the kitchen.
you're inside.
Okay.
I just like pulled you off to the side a little bit and kind of and in a lower tone than what was going on before I'm talking to you.
Right.
So I'm gonna turn to Daedalus and sit down next to him and say, you have that fly statue still, do you not?
Indeed I do.
Might a cleric be able to borrow that and bring it back to you in perfect shape?
Sure, if you can get it working.
Okay, thank you. And for his trouble, I'm gonna plop down a gold piece on the table just as a gesture of goodwill, and I guess take the fly statue from him.
Okay.
And just kind of nod at him and walk. I'm gonna walk back outside.
Okay. Now you know it's from where you're at. You know that it's probably 2 days walking to the Abru Nova. So effectively, you're going to double your speed from 30 to 60.
Okay.
It's actually maybe a little longer because Terra's speed is like 25, right?
Mm-hmm.
So be a little bit more than a day if you got a little bit more than 2 days if you guys walked, but for you it would be a day if
How-
you took the fly.
How long would it be back to the Ashburn mornings?
About a half day.
Half day. Okay, that's what I was hoping. So,
Yeah, the village isn't very far from the Ashburn Morning,
Okay.
so
I don't want to go off on too much of a solo mission here, but I have a little thing.
right.
Okay. And do I know any activating this statue? Is this straightforward? Do I know anything about it? Do I?
You know that there is a command word in Elvish.
Okay. I do speak Elvish.
So yeah, you just speak the command word. Now you can only, because Zed has already identified it. Once you use it, you can't use it for another 2 days, and it's only good for 12 hours.
Okay.
So, but yeah, you can do it, but it's going to be a while for you to get back.
Okay, so I can't use it on the way back. If
you keep it, no, actually you wouldn't be able to. No.
If I rented another horse, what would that put me at?
You want to put the horse on top of the fly?
No. I mean like once I get there.
I mean, I'm down for that. If
I'm
that's what you
kind
want.
of down for that now.
Okay,
But
let's put the horse on top of the
that's not
fly.
exactly what I meant. But
Okay.
but the horse's speed getting back, what would that equate to?
That's a good question. Let me find out for you.
I know we did it once already, but
Yeah, not as fast as the fly, because with the horse you are relegated to roads and trails and natural breaks in the landscape, where with the fly you're just able to fly over all of that. So you literally the closest the fastest way between 2 points is a straight line, and you'd be able to do that if you were airborne.
okay.
So I will find out the travel speed of a horse.
I wonder if we have another flying vehicle, another flying thing that we might be able to use.
Well, you already know that you do.
I know, but I can't make the call. But we might have another.
You saw
flying.
that. You saw him give the statue. He asked for the statue, the fly statue. You're not metagaming by saying, "Hey, you have a flying broom."
Oh yeah, you have a flying broom.
I Daedalus, broomy.
The problem is like he's outside, and it's like, ugh.
What?
It's like he's out, so I have to go walking outside if it dawns on me.
So
Daedalus is outside? No, you were having breakfast.
I would have to walk outside, like, outside the house.
No, they're not outside the house.
Well,
They're still in the house.
I'm outside.
Well, no.
He's outside, so if I wanted to give it to him,
Oh, okay,
I'd have to walk,
okay, gotcha.
I'd have to walk
The broom.
outside.
Understood.
Well, you already gave me the
Don't
fly
give him the
statue.
broom.
We exchanged the I sat down, I talked to you, and I gave you the gold piece. And so I have the fly statue.
But I mean, like, if it only works for 12 hours. You
Oh, to
can
have
use
both?
Yeah, you can
Oh.
use the broom to come back.
Yeah, Talvis hasn't thought of that.
Yeah. That's why I was like, we have another
Yeah.
flying.
Fair point. Very fair
vehicle
point.
here.
But Talvis didn't think about that. He's kind of shocked that Daedalus gave him the fly statue. So, okay, so I'm going to actually turn back around, head inside, and just say to everybody at that point, I should be back within a day or two, but this demands my attention immediately. I hope you will all still be here when I get back, but if not, I understand. And I'm going to walk back outside.
How are you getting back?
That's a very good question. Well, you do have that broom as well, don't you? And I have another shiny gold piece here. If you might be willing to part with it just temporarily.
So a horse also has a movement speed of 60.
Okay.
But again, however,
That's actually better than I thought. So what do you say?
Okay, but take very good care of it.
I will. And
You're giving up Broomy?
he offered.
No, I'm not talking as a DM. I'm talking about as Noel. I'm shocked. You're giving up Broomy?
I've got the fly and
The
broom.
broom. Wow.
That's a lot of trust there,
Yeah.
guy.
A lot of trust.
I trust him to get it back to me.
Okay.
Both of them to me in one piece.
As far as storing the broom, is that can I put it in
Daedalus has like a couple of straps on the side of his backpack that just kind of strap the broom so that it's staying.
Okay.
Well, you could secure it to your pack.
Okay, so I'll do that. And I'm going to go outside. I'll give Daedalus his gold piece, slap that down on the table, and then walk outside and speak the command word for the fly statue, and head full speed in the direction of Ashburn Moorings.
So the command words are in Elvish: to fly on a fly. And then you see the stat. You put the statue on the floor, and then you see like one of the limbs pop out, and another pop out, and it just enlarges and gets bigger. But it's like lumpy. It's a lumpy transformation, and it happens in stages. It doesn't just grow at one time. It's almost it's disturbing
It's like
to
a
watch.
werewolf transformation.
Yeah, it's disturbing to watch.
Okay.
And you see some of the halflings in the halfling village kind of like their eyes are just wide open and they cannot believe what they're seeing.
I'm just gonna turn around to them and just shrug. It's like, hey.
So you've got this giant fly, this mount, and you just see with its appendages, it's rubbing its eyes, kind of cocking its head, very fly-like. What do you do?
So I'm gonna hop on. Excuse me. I'm gonna hop on and direct it towards the Ashburn Moorings.
Sure. Yeah, it follows your commands.
Okay.
I will ask you to make a nature check.
All right.
What'd you roll?
A 2. Can I use an? I have.
You do
2
have
inspiration.
You can use an inspiration.
I'm gonna use 1 for that.
Okay.
3 plus. Wait. 4 modified.
A total 4. Okay, so as you, much like on the horse, you are backwards on the fly. Now you could go horizontal on it and kind of spin slowly.
Okay.
And then right yourself once again. And all the halflings are still looking and just they're all mystified by what's happening. You don't know if it's your technique on riding this giant fly or the fact that you have a giant fly.
Probably the whole picture.
The whole picture is disturbing.
Yeah, I'm gonna attempt to spin myself slowly but surely around into the right direction.
So you're sitting upright, facing the fly's ass. So you slowly hunker down on its body, and then you just kind of like you're horizontal now, and you slowly spin around, and then you sit up, and you are upright now, facing the right direction.
Okay.
It took a minute though.
Yeah.
It took a full minute to do.
And I have an audience too.
You do have an audience.
That's wonderful. So now I will direct it in the air and as much of a straight line as possible towards Ashburn Moorings.
Towards the Ashburn Moorings?
Yeah.
Okay, so the wings just beat furiously. You almost don't see them. They're beating so fast, and you just see this big kick up of dust as you fly, as the fly just takes off the ground, and it's sudden, it's fast, because flies don't move like birds. They kind of like move, they can move left and then right and then left and then up and down. So as you are flying on this giant fly, you see the houses, the structures get smaller and smaller, and you're up there. And you see blue skies, and you're actually flying, and you can almost touch the clouds above you as you're flying towards the Ashburn Moorings.
Okay. And when I do get there, I just would like to land really like right in the town square, wherever there's space.
So as you approach the Ashburn Moorings, it comes to because it's only active for 12 hours, the giant fly.
Okay.
So and it would take 12 hours for you to get to the Ashburn Moorings, so you can actually feel the fly's form start to dissipate as you come in for a landing. and you're gonna land just outside of the Ashburn Moorings. It
Um,
would be, I guess, the north of the Ashburn Moorings.
If I can land in the town, like in the square,
Sure.
then that's what I'd like to do.
Okay. I will say that you land right in the town square.
Okay.
A town square that you're very familiar with, and everybody is like, you've got an audience, but a lot of these people are familiar faces, and you see one of them, you're like, oh my god, these guys. So you land, and yeah.
Okay.
So, and then these fly just
Okay.
turns into a statue once more.
And I would. Does a short rest restore any spell slots?
I don't think you've used. Oh, you
I've
have.
used both of my 3rd level. That's
I
why.
believe you are a cleric, right?
Yes.
I think it's a short rest. But let me double check. I will double check for you. Yeah, it is a long rest.
Okay. Okay. I would like to go to the nearest inn and.
The Spread Eagle would be the nearest.
Okay. I'd like to go to the Spread Eagle, and I'm gonna walk in and approach the bartender and say, just need a room just for about half a day.
You've only been gone for like 2 days.
Yes, well, business calls me back sooner than I thought.
Well, huzzah! Where's the rest of the group?
They're still working on some other business that we have, but
Sure.
this one's something I need to do on my own.
Okay. You're back here. Is everything okay? I mean, are we in danger
Sure.
again? Or?
No, of course not.
Okay. Well, maybe you should let Mayor Pym know that you're.
I think the sooner I can get out of here, the better.
Oh, a little covert action, huh?
You could call it that.
All right, lad. So he gives you a pint and gives you the keys to one of the better suites in the Spread Eagle.
Okay.
Which just means it doesn't have vomit on the floor.
Hey, upgrade.
So yeah. Better than what you're used to.
So I'm gonna take a long rest and meditate and prepare some spells.
Okay. So you guys, he's gonna be gone for a day. So in that day, Daedalus, Barag, and Terra, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna go to the leather worker
Sure.
in the town.
Okay.
I want to see if he can maybe upgrade my leather armor. Maybe like get some.
Well, having lived here, I mean, you certainly can go to the leather worker, but having lived here, it's more for, backpacks and, leather aprons, things like that. They don't really deal with armament, arms, things like that.
Okay.
So, I mean, you can certainly ask, but it's not their forte.
That's true.
They don't make weapons. They don't make armor. They don't go to war.
Well, I'm gonna see if I can investigate because I know that someone put a curse on my father, so I want to go around and see if anybody else knows. Because I did hear that the stables just moved in, so
Right.
I want to see if anybody came in.
Yeah, the stables are currently in the process of final construction. So yeah, so go make an investigation roll.
17.
So after a few hours of asking around, you do get some people giving you kind of like the side eye. You're not very well liked in your own town, but that's mostly because most people don't understand you, and so you get a lot of tight lips. Some people just refuse to speak to you, but there are a couple of people that say that life is just simple at Taernsby Village. There's they don't really get strangers, with the exception of the new stable being built. Nothing new has really happened. They've had a great season for squash. Some of the corn is really producing, but other than that, nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay. I'm gonna head to the stables.
Okay, so yeah, you head to the stables, and the stable master's there, and a stout halfling. He's got a little mug of some sort of beverage. I don't know what it is, but he's tending to the. It's mostly mastiffs there, and then you do see the human. There is the human stable boys there, and you do see the older worker who is facilitating the final construction of the stables.
Okay. I'm gonna ask the older gentleman, the one that's facilitating the
Sure.
construction. You get any weird characters coming around here?
Miss Highhill. Gret is the name. No, I haven't seen any weird characters other than you lot. You came through the other day. It's about as weird as it gets, no?
I can't argue with you on that one. But nobody...
What do you mean weird?
Any scoundrel-looking folk. Maybe have an accent like mine, like they've been...
Make a perception check. 13. You could tell he's not being 100% forthcoming. You get the impression that he's not lying, but he's not telling the whole truth either.
It's obvious, I could see there that you might...
At this point, if you want to make either a persuasion roll or an intimidation check, whatever's higher.
I will do a persuasion. I'm going to try and persuade him.
Sure.
Maybe with some gold, too.
Sure.
13.
13? Okay, so what do you say?
You know, I've got some gold here, if you wouldn't mind telling me a little bit more information.
Miss Highhill, listen, I'm going to tell you something. The real reason why these stables are being built is to facilitate the transportation of refugees from the Abu Nova. Yes, it's for trade and to help travelers, but the mayor in Ashburn Moorings heard about what happened at the Abu Nova, and we, us, all decided, even the elders of this village, that we have to help in our own small way. And we get refugees almost on a daily basis coming through secret trails and through the woods, having to survive owlbears, orcs, and gnolls, and giant spiders, and every other kind of hell coming through those woods to get here. And we're just trying to... So we get people from the Abu Nova, refugees. They're starving, they're half dead.
The Abu Nova? What exactly?
You've not heard what's going on in the Abu Nova?
No.
Madam, the Three-Bolt King has taken the city. Followers of Talos himself. They've destroyed almost everything there.
That son of a bitch.
They're marshalling their forces at the Abu Nova now for Lord knows what. We're trying to shuffle and sneak as many people out of there as possible.
And you mean to tell me that they destroyed everything in this place, in the Abu Nova?
Miss Highhill, it is death, this place. Nobody leaves.
Well, here's the gold like I promised. Thank you for that bit of information.
Don't tell anybody. We are trying to save lives, and that is dependent upon the secrecy of this organization.
Well, if you wouldn't mind me, I do need to talk to at least 2 of my compatriots. We might be able to help your cause. I may know somebody who might know a little more information. I won't say it was you. I won't compromise what you're doing here because it's good work.
Madam, the Three-Bolt King is shepherded by a malevolent human being. She sits atop the throne at the Abu Nova, and she is merciless. I've heard stories, I've never seen, but I've just heard rumor from refugees coming from the Abu Nova. It is a dangerous place. Likely you will not live if you journey there.
Again, thank you for your time.
Aye, Miss Highhill. Good luck to you.
Aye, and to you. So I'm gonna head back to...
Kind of gives you a wink, and even the halfling, who's kind of like, you know, he's petting one of the mastiffs, he kind of looks at you and he just kind of takes a little corncob pipe out of his mouth and he kind of winks at you as well. So you kind of get the impression that he knows why these chain of stables are being built, what the real reason is.
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of gives you a knowing wink as you walk away.
Okay, I'm gonna go straight to where these 2 are at, which is at the home, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna head straight to the home, to
Okay.
my home.
So Daedalus and Barag are literally just staring at each other at the table. What are you guys doing?
Waiting for that third breakfast still.
You've got their breakfast.
I'm hungry.
You've got their breakfast, and now Terra's mom, Mrs. Highhill, she just needs to rest. She cannot continue feeding this dwarf, who does not have a dwarf-like appetite. It's a very large cosmic appetite. But you're making up for lost time. So she doesn't know this, but you're making up for lost time. But yeah, she's got her rest. She's like, oh dear Barag, you know you always have a home here. But look at these hands. So you see her hands are red, and she's put in a lot of work to feed you. Look at these hands, Barag. Go outside, please. Go play with the children outside. I'm begging you, get out of the house.
I have to go find Terra.
Oh, bless you,
We have
Barag.
business to discuss.
So she kind of gives you a peck on your forehead. Daedalus, please go with Barag. I cannot feed you anymore. I have to rest these swollen, calloused hands.
Yes, please rest. Thank you for the meal.
So she gives you a peck on your forehead as well, a motherly peck. And you guys go outside.
We head outside to find Terra.
Yeah, Terra's got some news.
I am storming up to them.
Terra, what's the rush? What is going
That
on?
son of a bitch, I'm gonna gut him like a fish.
Son of a bitch. Who?
Goddamn Talvis, that's... God damn it! And I'm just stomping at this point.
Where
Furious.
did Talvis head off to?
What do you mean? Didn't he tell you where he was heading off to?
No, you blubbering oaf. I was too busy stuffing my face.
I'm the blubbering oaf.
I don't think I did say.
No, you didn't.
Okay.
You didn't know.
I said I was leaving, but I didn't say where.
You just asked
Yeah.
for the fly statue
Yeah.
and the broom.
Where is he off to?
I have no idea. Why didn't you question him?
Shh. You were the one who talked to him and mentioned a flying broom to him. You should have asked him where he was going, you idiot.
Who's the one who gave him the broom? And the fly!
You suggested the damn broom in the first place.
Okay, that is not the point.
As they bicker as an old married couple, what do you do, Daedalus?
I was like, okay, guys, okay. Arguing is not going to get us anywhere. Okay. I didn't know where he was going, and I didn't bother to ask. I trusted him enough that he probably won't lose my precious broom and the statue.
Well, we shouldn't have trusted him. I just found out some ungodly, unforsaken news that son of a bitch kept from us.
Out with it.
That god he worships, Talos.
Yes. Talos?
Yes. It's an evil god. Destroyed a village. Killed people, women, children. And he worships that thing. Blindly, like an idiot.
Remember the good he did for your father, though.
But at what cost? At what cost?
You don't know the cost.
Oh, and you should talk. Right now, I am more worried.
I picture Barag just standing there, you don't know the cost, and one teardrop just rolls
Oh,
you never know the cost. I'm sorry, go ahead.
But that thing he worships is no good. No good will come of this. They are building those stables to get people out of where his cultish fiends are hovering over.
So much for that secret.
No, I did say that it was to these two.
So you're saying his place has been destroyed?
No, he took over a place. His people destroyed a fucking village. And I bet you he knew about it. And now we need to travel there? Are you fucking kidding me? You, elf,
Yes.
what is your opinion about this?
This is very troubling news, and for all we know, he could have headed there.
That is what I'm worried about. What if he comes back with a bunch of these cultish freaks? I don't want them coming into my village. I mean, granted, they're all a bunch of assholes here, but they're my assholes.
Well, if they try and come in, I assure you we'll kill them before they even reach the first footpath.
Even Talvis. Think about it.
I cannot speak for him.
Think about it, boys. Look how long he's traveled with us. Look how many secrets he knows. This does not bode well for us. For anybody.
Are you saying you want to march on this place they've taken over?
Aye. You didn't see those men over at the stables. They are in desperate need for your help.
Just wish Talvis wasn't so secretive, but I guess we have to march.
I don't know if we should march without him, though.
I say we question him. We get some real answers.
You want to wait
But
for him here?
We have
He said
to.
he'd be back.
We have to wait. We need the answers before we go off blindly.
Okay. So, as you guys talk about the possible future of the group and Talvis and what is known and what is not known, what are you guys deciding?
I think we can all agree that we're gonna wait for him to get some answers out of him, whether it's forcefully or not.
I guess
Is
we
everybody
wait.
in agreement to this?
I think we should wait.
I love a good battle, but I don't want to go in blindly. I've been through too many battles where we've been in blind, and I've lost many compatriots to that.
And several toes.
And toes.
And
Toes.
several toes.
So I say we wait.
we
Okay.
wait.
Okay. Talvis?
So I wake up from my long rest and my meditation, and I'm going to make my way in the direction of the temple of Talos.
Okay. So as you step out of your room, you see like a little motley crew of local people kind of standing right outside your door. I told you he was back. I knew he was back. What? Are we in danger? Are we in trouble? What happened? Where's the others? Are they dead? Are they dead? Mr. Talvis, please tell us Hartwell the Magnificent is alive and well.
Alive and well, indeed, quite well, and
Miss Highhill?
they're doing great. All of them. They're full of
Okay.
bacon and resting. So. and I'm gonna just push through and try to
So
escape the situation.
You see that most of them are just hungry for information. They kind of breathe a sigh of relief when you tell them that everybody's okay. And, so where exactly do you go?
To the temple where I met the gentleman who was to receive that raven.
Sure. Oops. Can you grab that? Sorry about that. Yeah, so you go to the abandoned building, or what most people think is abandoned, and you knock on the door, and he slides open the little slider, and he peers out, and he's like, "Oh, Malamu, Talvis, come on in, please." And it's the same guy that you had met prior to last time that you were in the Ashburn mooring. But yeah, he's there.
Is there anybody else there that I can see or hear?
Yeah. Thrashadi has that's his name. Thrashadi has a number of Fellmen. You know them as Fellmen, but they are just basically worshippers of Talos. And yeah, they're just preparing.
Okay. Can I discern roughly how many of them there are?
You only see 5 of them.
Okay. So I'm gonna walk in and say to him, how have things been?
Well, progressing well, Talvis. Yourself?
Oh, busy as ever, and
I did not expect to see you here, Malamu Talvis. Ladies Ayenda, Praetors Ayenda has requested your presence.
yes, and indeed, in fact, that's what I came here to talk to you about. And as I am I just kind of say I'm walking with him, just kind of into the temple,
Sure.
just alongside.
Sure.
Okay. So as I'm doing that, and I say, yes, that's what I've been meaning to talk to you about. I'm gonna place my hand kind of on his back, the way you might, somebody you haven't seen in a while. How are you? And I'm gonna cast Inflict Wounds,
Okay.
which is a 3d10 necrotic.
Sure.
So,
Is it a targeted attack?
that's what I'm looking at right now. Oh, it is a
I think
spell attack.
It just happens then, right?
It's a melee spell attack.
It's a melee spell. So go ahead and roll your attack.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. So as you put your hand on his back and you mutter the incantation to yourself, nothing happens.
Nothing. Does he know anything's going on?
It's a good question. No.
Okay.
It doesn't appear that he knows.
Okay. So, I'm going to turn around to leave.
Okay.
And just say, well, I was back in town and I just wanted to check in on things here.
So
And are all the plans still in place?
yes, Malamu Talvis. I'm quite vexed by your return to the temple. I feel there is more at play here.
Well, you may feel however you wish, but it is not your business to question my presence here.
So he bows his head respectfully. And please, I beg your forgiveness. I do not mean to question.
And as he bows, can I make a melee attack with my warhammer?
Sure.
Okay, so 12.
12? Okay. That is going to be enough to hit, I believe. Let me just hold on. That is is enough to hit. So you hit him. Go ahead and roll for damage, please.
That's a D8. Two.
2 plus your strength modifier. And your
Four.
your strength modifier.
4 total.
4 total. Okay. So. So you reach back with your hammer as he bows to you, and you hit him right square in the back. And he's actually in the prone position now, so he is going to use half his movement to right himself up again, and we are going to roll for initiative.
Okay. 17.
Okay. So since that was the first, it wasn't a round, you got a surprise attack, so in the initiative you beat him, so you get to go again. He is in the prone position still, so you do get advantage on this attack if you choose to attack him.
Okay. Yeah, so I am going to. Am I right on him, melee range?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to take let's say 2 steps back, because crossbow is disadvantage at melee, right?
It is disadvantage on melee, but you have advantage now, so it would cancel each other out. It would just be a regular roll.
But if I'm, say, even just like 10 feet back, does that, I can still get advantage that, like...
Yeah, but he will get an attack of opportunity at disadvantage.
Oh, because I'm moving...
Because you're moving out of melee range.
Yeah. Okay, well, then in that case, I'm going to use my Warhammer again, and I'm going to attempt to bring it down, let's say, not on his head, but like on his neck.
Okay.
And so I get advantage for that.
You do get advantage if you're using your Warhammer, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That is a 6. 19.
19. Woo. That hits. So go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. 6.
6 points. So you do bring the hammer down, and do some damage. You hit him right in the shoulder. And you hear footsteps coming from parts of the building. Next round, you may get some more added resistance.
Okay.
I just had to roll that perception check. So now he is going to use half his movement. He's not going to attack. He is going to take a defensive stance for his action.
Okay.
Which means that imposes disadvantage on all your attack rolls. And he just kind of puts his hands in the air and he's like, I'm sorry if I offended you. I did not mean to.
You have become a pawn in this greater plan, which is unfortunate for you and your brethren here, but I must put a stop to it.
So.
And then I am going to, and I'm melee range still?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to attack again with my Warhammer.
Okay.
Disadvantage. Right?
With disadvantage. Yes.
Okay. 14. 18.
Okay, so that does hit. So go ahead and roll damage.
Where'd it go? Oh, that's the wrong dice, isn't it? Yes, it is. Sorry. Well,
You're using the Warhammer, right?
yeah, it's a
1d8.
D8. That was
Yeah.
D10. So should I take that or re-roll?
No, just roll a d8.
Okay. That is the correct dice. 3.
3. Okay. Now, hold on. I should preface this. It's a versatile weapon. So it's a d8 if you're using it as a one hand, or it's a D10 if you're using it with 2 hands.
Well, I'm gonna keep my shield.
You have your shield, so you're
yeah.
using it 1 hand. Okay,
Yeah.
so D8. Okay, so what'd you roll?
3.
Plus
on
your
damage.
strength.
So 5.
5 total.
Yeah.
So, as you hit him, part of his armor it's ornamental armor. It's not actual functional armor, but part of a couple pieces of his armor on his shoulder come flying off. You kind of hear a crack that could be his collarbone as your hammer sinks deep into his shoulder. However, now it is his turn. What's your armor class?
18.
Misses. So he takes a mace and he comes down. You definitely just deflect it out of the way and it just crashes into the floorboard. Now you've got 4 more. And the first one actually does run up. Actually, make a... No, you made a perception check already. 12... 16?
For the
What's
hit,
your armor class?
18.
18, okay, so you get 1 miss with a mace. The second one is a 22. That will hit.
Alright, we'll hit.
So that is going to be... That was a horrible roll. 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
So you see 4 of the Fellmen come walking through. They're armed. One of them hits you with a mace. Right in the gut.
Can I... Oh, actually, sorry, no. I don't have that prepared.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so did you take the damage?
Yeah, 3 you said, right?
3, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so back at the top of the order, I've now inserted them into the initiative. They roll their own initiative.
Okay.
So 2 more. The other 2 actually get their turn. It's the 2 that attack were the bottom of the order. So now we're back up at the top of the initiative order.
Okay.
2 get to go. 1 is a miss, and the second one is a hard miss. So maces are swinging, and now you hear weapons clattering. A couple of the maces just kind of flying off your shield harmlessly. Now it's your turn.
Okay. So I'm going to attack the same guy I've been attacking.
Okay.
With my warhammer.
Sure.
Am I still at disadvantage, or?
Yeah, he's taking a defensive
Okay.
stance. So
13. 6.
okay, so unfortunately you miss with your attack. He's just moving back and kind of moving out of the way with both hands up, and he's begging you. He's like, "Malamu, please, you must stop. Come to your senses. I've been handpicked by Zainda Zane herself, your praetor." So
Can I talk to him at this moment?
that's a free action.
Okay.
Talking.
So I'm gonna kind of plant my feet where I'm at and look,
Couple sentences.
Okay.
Not long.
look around at everybody and say, Zainda means to deliver you to your death. You will not succeed in this mission, and our temple will be weakened for it. You must flee this place and never look back. I don't care what you do after that, but do not resign yourselves to this plan.
So as you say that, you hear one of them scream, "Heresy! Heresy!" And takes swing. That is a hit. So I'm going to damage. 3 points of damage again. I'm rolling ones on damage the whole time. Alright, so second attack.
Wow.
I know. 8, 9, that's a miss. Back up at the top of the initiative order. The 2 at the front. That is a miss. 13. Ooh, that's a hit. 22 hits. 6, nice. 7. So you take 8 more points of bludgeoning damage. So you're able to kind of like navigate the maces that are flying in your direction, but one of them catches you right in the jaw. Hits you pretty hard. It knocks some of your teeth loose. You feel a little bit of the blood start to come out of your mouth. And they're just standing right in front of you. Heretic.
And this is one of the other.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the other fellows. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna turn to the head guy that I've been interacting with
Sure.
and say, "What about you? Do you wish to die with these people? For what?
That is Talus's will. Then I will see it done.
And you believe the Zayenda knows Talus's mind greater than anybody?
Greater than you.
All right then. And is it my turn?
It is your turn. Yes.
Okay. So.
Talking is a free action. So.
Okay. So. Is he? How far away is he from me now? Same.
He's
distance?
within melee range.
He's within melee.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just taking. He's not. He's not retreating. He's just in a defensive stance.
Okay. So I am going to attack with my warhammer again.
Sure.
So I'll do that now. I'm gonna attack him.
Go for it.
Disadvantage still.
Disadvantage. So yeah.
7. 50, so 7.
7. So you miss.
Okay.
With
And
your,
then
with your warhammer.
as my bonus action,
Sure.
I'd like to attempt to cast spiritual weapon.
Sure.
2nd level.
Okay. So you grab your holy symbol. You mutter the ancient incantation that is one of the rites of your religion, and nothing happens.
Okay. Okay.
Second and your turn.
Can I move out of? Actually, no. Yeah, that's gonna be my turn.
Okay. So finally, he gets on his knees and he puts his hands out and he goes, "Before, leave. Go to the Ibunova now." And he just puts his hands out and he looks up at you and he goes, "This is Talus's will. See it done, heretic."
So I'm going to.
So you get 1 attack of opportunity on the 4 that are going on a full-on sprint retreat.
Okay. 1 attack of opportunity for each of them.
No, just 1.
Because it would be 1 action. Okay. So
They're all within melee range, so since
I can just
they're leaving, you can clip them with your
pick one of them.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Okay.
Use a
So
reaction.
yeah, I will do that then.
Go for it.
5.
5?
Yeah.
That's a miss, unfortunately.
Okay.
All right, so they go taking off into the night.
Okay.
Was it evening or daytime?
Well, I did a long
I
rest.
guess yes, it was in the morning.
Yeah.
So they take off into the morning light
Okay.
outside the temple, and it's just you and he.
And he's just ready to die, basically.
Yeah, and he's unafraid. He's staring at you, eye to eye, eyeball to eyeball.
Okay. And I'm gonna look at him and just say, Talos grants his power to those who wield it most effectively. And then I'm just gonna catch him under the chin with my warhammer.
Sure.
So do I make an attack roll for
Make
that?
an attack roll.
14.
Okay. So that hits, and as you hit him with the warhammer, you hear his neck just crack as his head kind of spins at a weird 45-degree angle, and you see blood kind of come out of his mouth. You hear a little gurgle sound, and he just kind of falls to the floor of the temple.
Okay.
Blood on the end of your warhammer.
Okay. So at that point, and it's empty now. It's just
Yeah,
nobody
it's
else is
empty.
there. Okay. Is there anything around that I can kind of search for, look for
Make a perception
potentially?
check.
Okay. 19.
Ooh. All right, so yeah, you do find your standard weaponry, and there's a lot of it.
Okay.
There's halberds, swords, shields. You find a lot of that, which is not surprising because they were gearing for war. You do find cheap leather armor, sustainable in a battle, but cheaply made. Not the best leather armor. You do find missives sent through ravens, messages between the Abrunova, in fact, between Zayenda Zane herself and her cohorts and Thrashadi, and the messages are quite telling. It's we have a foothold in the Ashburn mooring. And you can see from the very first message, there's a total of about a half a dozen messages, but it's I'm sending more followers, or we've recruited more people, things like that.
Is there any indication from the letters that there might be anybody other than that temple who's involved in the plan within this Ashburn moorings?
It looks like this temple alone. Well, the last time you were here, you saw more than just those 5 people.
Right.
In the temple, so there are more followers of Talos within the Ashburn moorings.
Okay.
As far as you know, this is the only temple.
Okay.
So
I am going to. Does that would?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, would that include his body? What I'm searching? Will that include that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you find 7 pieces of gold.
Ooh. Okay. Just made my money back for borrowing the fly in the broom. Okay.
You do find a holy symbol of Talos.
Does this holy symbol appear to be glowing any more than mine?
It does.
It does?
Yeah.
Okay.
You see a vest that has a bunch of little pockets in the vest.
Okay. So I'm going to loot the gold, the holy symbol, and the vest.
Sure.
Look what I found. And so I'm gonna take off my holy symbol and keep it, put it in my bag, but I'll then put on the one I found, and look at it and see if I can notice anything. Does anything change about it? Does it remain the same?
Sure. Thrashadi's
Yeah.
holy symbol? Okay. So as you take off your old holy symbol and you put on the new holy symbol, Thrashadi's holy symbol, you see it turn from a vibrant glow to it just starts to dim. So,
Okay. So I'm gonna keep it anyway.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to. I have a dagger. Is that large enough to sever the head of this guy in front of me? Yeah.
I mean, a dagger can be as long as 8 to 10 inches long.
Okay. So I'm gonna attempt to do that.
Sure. It's gory.
Yeah.
But you don't have to try so hard to get to the neck since you've already broke it with your warhammer. So you're sitting there and eventually you do take off the Shadi's head at the shoulders.
Okay. And
As gruesome as that is.
I'm going to just, why not, attempt to cast Gentle Repose on the head, and what that will do is protect it essentially from decay.
Okay. Alright, so is this a ritual spell?
How
long is the casting time?
So it is a ritual spell.
Wait.
It doesn't It just says one action. The duration is
Okay.
10 days, but that's
Sure. All right. So you cast your spell. Can't tell if it happened or not because it just slows
We're
decay.
gonna find out.
But yeah, you think you cast it. But
Okay.
you don't get that same spark of divine energy from this holy symbol.
Okay.
Like you used to get on yours when you cast.
Okay. So I'm gonna. Oof. Let's see. I have to just quickly check what bags I have. I think I only have one. Can I wrap? I'm gonna that vest I just got.
Mhm.
Can I kind of wrap it around the head as best as I can, and then place it in my bag?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll do that.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Okay. 4.
You think you wrapped it well.
Okay, it's going in the bag. So, okay, throw it in the bag. I'm going to drag his body. Is there an altar there at all?
No.
No? Okay. Well, then I'm going to leave him where
It's
he...
more of a makeshift safe house than a temple.
Okay. I'm going to leave him where he lays. Actually, scratch that. I'm going to attempt to hide the body somewhere. So it's just out of plain view. If
Sure.
I can.
Make an investigation check.
4 plus, wait. 5.
5 total.
Yeah.
You think you can hide it pretty well.
Okay. So I'm gonna attempt to do that.
Okay.
And
And there's blood all over. There's
okay.
blood all over you too. You just severed a man's head. So.
Yeah. So I'm going to walk out of the building.
Sure.
And I'm gonna take those communications with me, like the letters.
Mhm.
If I can. I'm gonna take those as well. And then I will hop on the broom
Sure.
and take off towards the Halfling village.
I just rolled a perception to see if anybody saw you. I rolled a 2.
Oh,
So you just managed to kind of slip out. Nobody's really watching. You
Okay.
grab the broom and
sneaky.
you take off.
Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna make my way dead ahead towards the village.
Okay. So it is going to take you one day actually. 1 day of steady flying. But man, you are going to be sore.
Okay.
Those magic witch brooms are unforgiving.
Okay.
As you are flying, you do feel that the broom doesn't like you.
Okay.
It doesn't care for you. You're not Daedalus.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a couple of moments where, as a matter of fact, why don't you go ahead and make a strength check, where you feel that the broom is trying to buck you off. So
Okay.
make 2 strength checks.
10 and plus mod.
Plus your strength modifier.
So 12
12. Okay.
and 12.
12. Okay. So yeah, both times you managed to secure your grip on the broom itself, but you get the impression that the broom doesn't really care for you all that much.
Okay.
So, but you do eventually make it. So guys, so you are 1 day is down. So while you're traveling back on day 2, what would you like to do? So as you're traveling back, apparently Barag is getting diabetes. So what do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna say, and he took all his stuff with him, like
Who?
Talvis.
Talvis?
He took everything with him.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are traveling light because you're traveling on the road. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang it. I was hoping he left something. Actually, can I take a perception check, see if like he maybe left anything behind in the room he was staying?
Sure.
Sure. Of course.
Would you roll?
8.
8. You go. You don't see anything.
Okay. So I'm gonna go out. I'm assuming Daedalus and Barag are in the kitchen as usual.
I don't know.
Probably
Daedalus,
eating.
Where are you guys at?
I'm actually going outside to go fishing.
You're going fishing?
I'm going fishing.
All right. I want you to make a sleight of hand check, please. 3. Okay, so you sit down and you have your pole and your line and your little bobbin, which is made of an old wine cork. You put the worm on. You think you put it on pretty well. You throw the line out, and as you throw the line out, you almost let go of the fishing pole, but you manage to grab it with one hand. You're like, but you see the worm just kind of like fly off the hook in midair. A bird kind of comes in and just eats it in mid-flight.
You bloody bird! Goddamn, stealing my worm! How am I supposed to get any fish?
And in this episode, Barag goes fishing. So, why don't you make another sleight of hand check for us, please? This is going to be the second casting. We'll do a total of 3.
15.
15, alright. You get the worm on there. It's a bloody one, it's very ripe. So you put the worm on there, you throw it out there, and let's go ahead and roll a luck check. That's the D20 plus the amount of inspiration that you have. So how many inspirations do you have? None?
I don't have any.
Okay, so just roll your D20.
19.
Woo! Alright. Alright. So you're sitting out there, and you've been out there a while, but it's a beautiful day. Sun is bright out, and there's no clouds in the sky, and you get a nibble, a hard nibble. You see that cork just disappear completely into water. You pull on the line a little bit, and manage to hook yourself an 11-inch bass.
Yes.
So. And it was a fight because you had to get it in. It's pretty big. You saw your pole kind of bend, and you were like, "Oh, please don't break! Please don't break!" But you managed to get it up. So, your last cast.
4.
4?
Yeah.
Okay. So you throw your line out there, and after that, the amazing display of fishermanship, if that is even a real word. You're not even getting any nibbles on that last cast, so on that last line. So, but well done. You've got a pretty nice fish. It's kind of one that you mount, you know. Daedalus.
Oh yeah.
What to do?
So what are you doing? You're on day 2. No Talvis, no broom for Daedalus, and no fly statue for Daedalus. So, yeah, what are you doing at the Halfling Village?
I think I'll try my hand at fishing.
You're gonna try your hand at fishing, so let's do 4 casts, please.
8.
Did you get 3 or 4? You got 4, right?
3.
You got 3? Alright, let's do 3 casts.
Okay. 19.
19? Oh my goodness. What is your inspiration?
I think I saw, what was it, 2 left? Yeah, I think
2.
Yeah, I have
So
2
modify
left.
21? Okay, great. So, you throw your line out. You've already seen Barag. He's there at the pond. And you saw, as he threw out his first line, you saw that worm just kind of like fly right off the hook in midair. And so you throw your line out, very, very skillfully throw your line out, and you manage to get yourself a decent 7-inch perch.
Ooh.
Very good. So your second cast. So go ahead and roll your second cast.
An 18.
Whew.
Oh my gosh.
So, Barag, he's sitting next to you, and you see him catch this perch on his first cast.
Ah, that's nothing. I got an 11-inch bass. Top that, son.
So his second cast with the 21,
Yes.
he catches a 20-inch bass on the second cast.
Ha!
No
Did you-
shit, I rolled a 20.
Oh.
So
Wow.
he catches this monster of a bass. This is a bass that the halflings have. They even have a name for it. It's called Old Grouchy, and it's like a legendary bass. Like people have been seeing Old Grouchy, it seems, generationally in this halfling village. It's like the Loch Ness monster. Daedalus, what are you gonna do with Old Grouchy? You gonna serve him up on a dinner plate?
Before he has a chance to decide, I'm gonna get up and kick him into the pond. In
Alright,
true
so-
dwarven pissed off fashion.
So you're at the edge of the pond and you've got this huge 20-inch bass. You've got Old Grouchy. I need you to make an attack.
Get out there for you. Come on.
4 plus my strength, which is 8, and 9 to 11.
11. What's your armor
With
class?
my proficiency.
That is 11 on the.
Without your so you
That's
do manage
without.
to hit him. You do manage to push him right into the pond. So as you're pondering what the fate of this beautiful old fish is going to be, you feel a boot right in your behind, and you kind of slip and you go right into the pond. Make a sleight of hand check because Old Grouchy may actually get loose.
Don't. It's a 4.
So as you're in the water and you're coming up, Old Grouchy just slips right out of your grip, right out of your hands, and it just swims off. And you see Barag on the bank of the pond, looking very satisfied with himself.
Ha 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 ha.
So what do you do, Daedalus?
Oh my god.
Other than look disgruntled.
Can Mage Hand pull him in with me?
Unfortunately, Mage Hand is only for manipulation of small items.
I can't like at least grab him by like his shirt or something. And go.
That would be more of a Bigby hand sort of thing, which I don't think you have.
I don't know if there's anything really I can do to him without harming him. What if I cast light into his eyes and make him fall in due to blindness? Just be like,
So you want to cast light?
yeah, just see if I can cast it like in front of his.
Sure.
See if I can cast it like in front of his face or something. Just like make a blast of light goes going to his eyes.
So you okay? So let's do that.
I didn't touch it.
So that is you have to actually touch an object. I will allow you to touch his eyelids if you want to illuminate his eyelids and cast light onto his eyelids so he's completely blinded.
Yeah, I'll try that.
Okay. So go ahead and make a melee attack. So he comes like stomping out of the water, out of the pond, and he comes right up to you.
13.
13 plus your spell attack modifier.
Here. 6, I think it is.
19. Ooh. What is your armor class?
Beats me by 1.
Beats you by
18.
1. All right. So
Ah.
Daedalus comes up, kind of looks a little upset with you. He does not have his fish, so he just takes his 2 fingers and almost in a very Three Stooges sort of way, like a mo, like he goes dunk, right to your finger, right to your eyelids, and then your eyelids are like, it's like you're looking into the sun. I'm gonna need you to make a perception check at disadvantage.
10. 1.
Okay, so Barag actually cannot see anything. He starts walking and he just goes right into the pond, knee deep in the water, and that lasts for an hour. So now it's like you're staring at the sun for an hour, and you're just getting deeper and deeper now. You're now waist deep into the water. So what do you do?
I'm gonna swim in the direction I think that the dock is at.
Make a perception check
13.
with disadvantage. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. 11.
Okay. So you kind of get turned around a little bit. You start feeling around, and you do feel some mud. You feel earth, but it's muddy earth. So you start pulling yourself up into the mud, and you almost look like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator. You're just covered in mud with these two illuminated eyelids that are just bright. But yeah, you're there. What do you do? What do you say?
Daedalus, when I see you again, I'm gonna kick your bloody ass.
Consider it payback. I run off. I just run away.
That's smart.
You lucky bastard.
Very
I
smart.
run into the house.
All right. Good job. I need Barag and Daedalus to take.
And I'm watching all this from the comfort of my home, sipping a
Sure.
cup of joe,
Sure.
just snickering.
Yeah. So I need you both to take an inspiration. That's great. So the day goes on. The spell finally wears off. You're caked in mud. It's in your beard. It's in your hair. It's in your ears. But you are just happy that you're not looking at bright light. But it goes on. So are you gonna give up your fish for dinner?
Yeah, I'm gonna go and give my fish to Mrs. High Hill.
The perch. Are you gonna give up your perch?
Yeah, I'll give up my perch. That'll also be dinner.
So Daedalus,
Could have had something bigger.
do you tell everybody about catching old Grouchy?
Yes, I'm going to. Then I'm going to tell him that the stupid dwarf made me lose it.
So I will make a persuasion check, please. Make a persuasion roll.
13.
13. Okay. For the most part, everybody believes your story. However, there's one person who doesn't. Davrik is like, come on, old Grouchy's not even real. He doesn't really exist. A bass can't get 20 inches long.
But I saw it, and so did he.
I don't know. I don't buy. This sounds like a fish story, guys. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, it's about a fish. It's about a real fish, by the way.
I don't know. Nobody's ever caught old Grouchy before.
Except for me.
Mm.
Come on,
So-
Rob, back me up. You saw it before you kicked me in.
He did catch old Grouchy
I don't know about
before
that,
I
guys.
drop kicked him into the pond.
Sounds. Well, I'm not even gonna say it sounds fishy, but it does sound fishy to me, guys. So the evening goes on. You guys serve up your fish, and it's a comfortable, happy home. Mom High Hill sings while Dad High Hill plays the piano. I need you to make a performance check.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, make a performance check. Daedalus.
12.
12. Okay, so you join in on the singing and you start doing a little bit of your tumbling routine and it's amazing how conducive this particular lifestyle is with these halflings are to your particular talents because they just love it and you get the impression that this is something that they do every night after dinner, it seems. So the evening rolls on. Anything else you guys want to do before calling it a night?
I'm gonna make my way over to Terra, and I'm still muddy, so I give her.
You never washed up for dinner?
Not yet, no. I just
Wow.
went straight to eating because Barag was hungry after taking an hour swim in the pond.
Okay,
I
so
was starving, so I was like, forget washing up. So I go over and I give a muddy hug to Terra.
I just kind of give him like a sideways look.
Welcome to the party, finally.
so you
Squish.
you get this caked on mud hug from Barag, and as
Can I try and dodge?
absolutely, you
his
know what?
hug?
You need to roll an attack. So you need to roll a grapple.
8 strength, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
15. What's your armor class?
17.
Ooh, she's quick. She's a little too quick. And as she dodges your mud hug, you see Mom Highhill with a mop. Dwarf, I fed you for 2 days.
Yes.
You're tracking mud in my home.
Uh.
Clean this up, dwarf. And she just gives you a mop.
Fine.
Alright.
Good work, Mama.
So you're officially on mud duty.
And everyone else is laughing
The
at you.
Highhill. Yeah, it's quite entertaining.
Watching the big old dwarf.
You get the impression that your younger brother, more than all, kind of sees the appeal of your lifestyle for the first time now. Like, he's having all these experiences for the first time with a dwarf and elf, and kind of like the shenanigans that you guys are kind of up to all the time, right? And he kind of like he doesn't understand it, but he gets it a little more than he did, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you guys call it an evening?
I say we do.
I'm gonna take a bath. Someone
With or without the armor.
without my armor. And naturally, I'm gonna remove my armor and take a nice
Don't
hot
wanna
bath.
pull a Talvis with your bathing in the armor.
No, I really don't want to pull that. I
just-
want to be able to have a peaceful bath without drowning in it.
By the way, while this was all happening at the temple and stuff, I have the Santa hat on. None of the NPCs are questioning it.
No,
I'm like, yeah, that's happening.
Yeah. All right. So you're flying on a witch's broom with the Santa's hat on. All right. So
Combining holidays.
yes, because why not? Because D&D.
Yeah.
All right. So
You better bring us some gifts.
yeah. So you do get there. I would say you left probably around 11. So you get there right before they call it. No, they probably already called it an evening. So right around 11 o'clock,
Okay.
you kind of touch down to the village.
Okay.
And as you dismount the broom kind of by itself kind of moves a couple of feet away from you, and then just goes right to the house.
Okay. So I'm gonna. Am I like right by the house now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna walk over to the pond and just attempt to wash myself free of as much blood as possible, and then try to. They're all asleep at
They're
this
all
point.
asleep. Well, as far as you know.
Okay.
Sure.
So once I'm done cleaning myself off, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take off this guy's holy symbol, put mine back on, just keep his. And I'm going to kneel down by the pond once I'm cleaning myself off, and I'm gonna attempt to pray to Talos. And can I see anybody like through the window? Does it seem like anybody's there that could see me potentially? No. Okay. So I'm gonna kneel down and I'm gonna start praying to Talos and just clutch my holy symbol. I'm gonna turn this into a necklace. I'm gonna clutch my holy symbol and say, Talos, grant me your power. This plan that Zayenda has will weaken our forces. Let me convert the people of the Ashburn Moorings, and we will come out stronger. Won't be a mere land grab. Help me do this and confront Zayenda's plan, and I will enforce your will to the Ashburn Moorings and beyond. And end it.
Okay. Daedalus, you get a on your door.
Open it up.
It's your broom.
Hey, Broomy.
And
Sorry.
it just, as soon as you open your door and you say, "Hey, Broomy," it goes poof, and it hits you like almost like Dino and Fred Flintstone. It just hits you and you tumble down on the floor.
Okay, yes, you're happy to see me. I know I sent you on a journey with our cleric, but he asked for it
So
and he paid me in gold.
As soon as you say, "I know he sent you on a journey with a cleric," it hits you in the head like 3 times.
Yeah, I know, don't do it again.
So I need you guys to make a perception check with disadvantage.
16. 1.
1. Ooh.
Yeah.
You're sound asleep.
Yep.
16.
16? Okay. Somebody's arrived back at the home. You hear knocking.
Okay.
Persistent knocking.
I'm gonna get up and. Do I see, like, is his room next to mine? Like,
Yeah.
where I could see the broom, like, basically
Yeah, as soon as
showing affection?
Sure. As soon as you open the door, you look out to the left-hand side, and you see the broom just poof, fly right in, and you hear Daedalus. All right. I know I sent you on, and then
Hi, Broomy. Good to see you again, my dear.
so it kind of flies over to you.
I'm just gonna kind of, like, pat him, like, hi, there. How was your journey?
So he just kind of like falls to the ground.
I could tell. You poor thing. Why don't you go back to your master and get some rest?
So he kind of props himself up and then goes right to the corner.
Hi, Daedalus. You know who's back now, don't you?
Indeed, I do.
I'm gonna go have a little chit chat, and I'm gonna pull out my knife from my
I'm going to
icicle
come
knife.
with you because he's no good to us if you kill him.
I like the way this guy thinks.
I'm just going to persuade. Doesn't mean I'm going to kill him. Maybe cut off a few fingers. After all, he did lie to us and bullshit us the entire time. But
Well, let's just get some answers out of him first, okay? So let's go talk to him.
he attacks me first. I attack next. So I'm gonna head outside.
And I'm with her.
Okay. So Daedalus and Terra, you head outside. Make a perception roll. Anybody have night vision?
No.
Oh, you do. You're an elf.
Yeah, I'm an elf.
Yes.
So I can see, like,
Yeah.
everything.
You still make a perception roll. I'll say because you have night vision, you've got advantage.
10.
20 for the first one.
Okay, forget it. So you see Talvis, and he's out by the pond, and he's got his clutching something in his hand. You've seen him clutch his holy symbol before, so you think it's his holy symbol. And he's sitting, saying a silent prayer by the edge of the pond.
I'm gonna start walking briskly over there.
Okay.
And can I see if I can smack him upside the head really quick?
Do you want to do stealth? You want to do sneak
Stealth.
attack?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a
So
sneak
question,
attack.
for a halfling with a brisk walk, I should be a run.
Believe it or
It's all
not,
relative.
there's only a 5-foot difference between a halfling and a normal human movement. Why don't you go ahead and roll your stealth?
And then that would be with my dexterity, right?
Plus you're proficient in it, so you add your proficiency bonus on top. It should be
17.
17? Okay. Why don't you make a perception? Well, what's your passive perception is 16, right?
That's my wisdom is 16.
Okay. All right. So, are you proficient
In perception,
Say,
yes, I am.
okay. All right. So, you hear some rustling behind you.
Okay, behind me.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stand up and turn around quickly with my my shield like this in front of me.
Okay. So you're not so deftly footed as you snap a twig under your foot, and he kind of spins very quickly with his shield in front of him.
I'm gonna step out of the bushes and be like, "Hi, you dirty scumbag, you're back."
Following me again, I see.
Hi, well, when you find out that one of your friends has been bullshitting you, you tend to be, dare I say, try to be a little stealthy.
And, what exactly have I been bullshitting you about?
What is Talos? Don't give me any other answers
What
other
is
than
Talos?
what is he?
He is the Storm Lord. He wields his destructive wrath across land and sea, and will destroy anybody in his path, much like me. So would you like to tell me what this is about?
Hi, so your god kills innocents, women, children, farmers, what have you. Just because? Do you not
You would have
even...
to define innocent. Who is innocent?
Where we're heading to? The Abrun Nova. A simple village. Gone.
Simple enough.
Simple enough.
What of it?
They're all dead. They're all imprisoned.
Indeed.
And you just like nothing to you.
Yes, and it will only get worse from here. Which is why I'm heading there.
Did you know?
I know now.
You know now.
I was not part of this plan.
And your cult? They haven't done anything?
My cult does not, as you call it, does not act as a single unit. There are some in my cult who have chosen a path that I believe will lead to their own destruction, which is what I'm trying to prevent. Who may fall in the meantime may fall.
And what is your path? Because you serve an evil god, I don't know if your intentions are good.
Again, evil is relative in most scenarios. I am here to serve.
The bush.
I am here to serve Talus's will.
So kill the innocent, destroy a village or two.
If the ones you call innocent mean to stand in my way, then they may fall, but it will always be their choice.
Their choice. When you put a hammer to the head, burn down everything they care about and own.
There's always more to the story. And,
I'm sure there is.
As
I'm
I
sure
say
there
that,
is.
Terra, make a perception roll.
13.
13. Okay. So as you're talking, your eye kind of catches his hammer, and you do see there's a small smear of blood at the blunt end of the hammer. It looks like most of it was washed off, but there's still you managed to see in the moonlight there is some blood on his hammer.
So someone must have gotten your way. I can see that by their weapon.
as I said, there's always more to the story. And
Explain
as I
yourself.
say that, I'm gonna reach into my bag and pull out, sort of get it out from the vest I wrapped around it, and pull out the head and sort of roll it in her direction and say, would you like to become part of that story, Miss Highhill? Because you are writing yourself into it as we speak.
And who is this?
Who that was would be a more accurate question. Who that was a key player in this plan that you are so concerned with, and that I am trying to put a stop to. Now, you may join me in that effort, or you may not, but I will be on my way regardless.
So you're planning on destroying your own cult?
I plan on destroying whoever stands in the way of Talus's power spreading. What these people mean to do will prevent that. They have convinced themselves that they are on the right path, but I know better.
I've seen many of you on my adventures on the seas, men, scoundrels. I took a few of them in myself, under my crew.
Yes,
They had good intentions. We
Did
took
they?
down a few of their previous friends. And eventually they became good allies of mine. But it's the same good allies that stabbed me in the back in the end.
Yes,
So I got me eye on you.
likewise.
You get me in trouble. You get me village in trouble. I will slit your throat and leave you for the fish.
If we do nothing, your village will be in trouble. Your village is already in trouble.
Is he listening to this all along?
Daedalus is with you.
Yeah, I'm listening to this. I'm just letting you guys hash it out. You pretty much like asked every single question, said everything I wanted to say. Every single little tiny thing.
So you're just there in silent.
I'm just there. Yeah, I'm just there to make sure that he doesn't do something rash and she doesn't do something rash.
Okay. All right. So what do you guys do?
I'm going to turn to Daedalus and say, so you trust him?
About as far as I can throw him, but what other options do we have? He is one with the most information.
Aye. And I guess his cause seems right and just, but be warned, You betray us. I don't give a shit what god you worship. I will hunt your ass down. And I will personally kill you myself.
Just, don't get in my way, and you won't have to worry about tiring yourself out with that.
Hey, now if you'll excuse me, I need to get some rest.
Likewise. And I'm gonna pick the head back up, and I'm not even gonna wrap it in a vest. I'm just gonna throw it in my bag, and very, very nonchalantly walk. It's nighttime right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Very nonchalantly walk away, but not into the house. Do I know where the? Have I noticed where the leather worker in the town is?
I would say before, because you had spent a full day at the village, so you've got somewhat acquainted with where the things are. I mean, you could make an investigation roll.
19.
Yeah, yeah, you know where it is.
Okay, so I'm gonna make my way, excuse me, in that direction.
Okay. So it is 11 o'clock in the evening.
Mhm.
So you go there and it seems shuttered up.
Okay. And it's just a building. It's just like there's
It's a
no.
building.
It's not a residence. Like
No,
where he
it's-
lives,
yeah,
where he
no.
works, sort of thing.
Right, right.
Okay.
It's a place of business. Yeah.
Okay. So then I'll turn around and just with the intent of heading back into the house to rest.
All right. So Daedalus, you doing anything? Or
I'm
going
just-
back into the house?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go back to my room.
Okay. So you guys.
Meditate for the evening because we elves do not sleep. We do
That's
not
right.
need it.
That's right. You do meditate, I believe, right?
Yes.
For 4 hours, is it? To
Yeah.
regain your spell slots. Right. So you meditate in a very elvish fashion. So you guys get up in the morning, and it's another beautiful day. The birds are chirping outside. There's a few on the windowsill. It's brisk, cold, but sunny at the same time. So what do you? And you guys smell that cooking. You can smell that's that alarm clock. You guys in the morning is that cooking.
Like a typical mom would do.
Yeah. Yeah. She's this morning it's biscuits with meat gravy and all kinds of stuff. Some potatoes and
Teeters.
Taking bets now, the dwarf is the first down the stairs
yeah.
or out of the room.
I would say that's probably a safe bet to make. He's waiting there with like spoon and fork on the table, waiting for the first breakfast to arrive.
So all you're gonna hear is thud.
Yeah.
I roll out of bed, straight onto the ground.
Yeah.
And I had to take my armor off, so that's all I got. So before I run downstairs, I'm gonna put my armor on first.
Okay, so you
because
take 10 minutes.
10
It
minutes.
takes 10 minutes to put your armor on. Half that if you're assisted.
Yeah.
So you start putting on your dented and dinged up armor.
I'm gonna yell out too. Someone help me on the damn armor! I want some breakfast.
So all you guys hear Barag. He sounds like he's in a panic, like he may be fighting a dragon right now. You don't know. So yeah, anybody want to help him?
Nah.
I run over there just to see what's up.
Daedalus and Talvis, you run over there?
I am currently meditating still,
Sure.
preparing my spells.
So I'm the only one to go help the
So
dwarf.
Daedalus, yes. He calls for help, and you're the only one who arrives. The conscious of the group. So you see him struggling very quickly. He's trying to get his armor on, and he's sniffing the air, and
You want to get down to the table as
he's
fast as you can, don't you?
You almost, it's almost imperceptible, but you almost see his whiskers bristling as he catches wind of the bacon and everything.
So you want to get down there as fast as possible, don't you?
Hurry up! Put on my armor with me, please. Help me.
Fine. Which part do you want first?
Alright, so you assist him putting on his armor and cuts the time in half. So with a good assist, it pinches a little in the shoulder. It's probably a little too tight. But Daedalus isn't used to putting on armor. But yeah, you get down there to the kitchen. Daedalus,
I follow him.
You
down.
follow him? Alright. It is a meeting of the month. Let's do this. There is the first plate. This time it's biscuits. The boys are eating biscuits. High Hill is eating. There's one biscuit on that plate. Sleight of hand, guys. Let's do it. Contested.
You first.
No, go ahead. Roll at the same time.
13.
2.
2. Okay, so Barag, quick, manages to beat an elf. So you see his hands are like quick as a flash. He grabs that biscuit and starts shoveling it into his mouth as quickly as possible. And Daedalus, poor Daedalus is left, looking at an empty plate. Next time you don't help him. Alright, so eventually the first course comes out, and then the second course. It's a 3-course meal. So you've got some good cornbread, you've got biscuits, meat gravy, you've got bacon, you've got eggs with a purple yolk. You've got some like a hot caffeinated beverage. There's some goat's milk, some honey, all kinds of great morning foods. Terra, what do you do?
I'm gonna head downstairs and join the rest of the group, and I came down just before all that happened, so I have no idea what just ensued.
Barag looks very happy with himself. And Daedalus is just enjoying his morning as well, his breakfast. So, Talvis, you're still upstairs, right?
I'm gonna head downstairs and look at the table all set up and grab some goat's milk and some honey and just put a drop of honey in there and stir it around and just start drinking and kind of just look around at everybody and then shoot Terra like a darting glance and just go about what I was doing.
I need Barag and Daedalus. Roll a perception check, please.
5.
3.
You guys are completely clueless. So
Too busy.
These
like,
two are
nom,
staring
nom,
daggers
nom,
at each
nom,
other,
nom,
while Daedalus and Barag are really just concerning themselves with getting as many calories in their bodies as humanly possible.
And I offer a peace offering, Daedalus, and I shove the plate of bacon towards him.
So Daedalus grabs the bacon.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there you go.
Thank you.
Peace
Now,
offering.
the
for
olive
eating the
branch
last
has
biscuit.
been extended and accepted.
The bacon branch.
The bacon branch. That's the episode name.
Bacon branch.
Alright, so
Bacon branch.
Alright, so so you guys are eating. What do you do?
I'm going to take a look at my holy symbol and see if I can notice a difference in appearance at all.
What specifically?
Specifically, if it looks like it's regained any of the light and vitality that I've seen it lose.
It doesn't appear to.
Doesn't appear any different. Okay. Then I'm going to turn to Daedalus and pull the fly statue out of my bag and just turn and hand it to him and say, "Thank you. This came in handy even more than I thought it would."
Oh, no problem. Glad to have it back.
Same bag with the severed head.
Yeah.
So he gives you the statue and it's just covered with blood on it.
What did you do with it? Did you bash somebody over the head with it? Is that what you wanted to use it for?
Not with that. But I'm carrying around one bag and certain things cross paths and
What do you have in there?
Oh, the usual thing, some gold and a fly statue until now.
Yes, but what made it get? What got blood?
What do I have in here anyway? It's written down somewhere. Here. Let's see. In this bag, I have a couple healing potions, a prayer book, my vestments, and a couple holy symbols, and it's
holy symbols don't get this thing bloody.
Not usually, no. So,
I'm just gonna
good morning,
shoot-
everybody.
I'm gonna shoot Talvis a smirk and a knowing look.
Alright.
Because I obviously know what's in that bag.
Oh, well, didn't Daedalus actually witness me bowling ball the head towards Terra last night, though? Or
Yeah, but he doesn't know what you did with it after.
oh, yeah, I guess he hasn't made the connection. Oh, just as
I'm
well.
gonna search his bags later when he's not looking.
He announces that he's going to take it. I'm making the announcement. I'm going to be sneaky later on. All right, so you guys finish up your breakfast.
Is my family still at the table, or?
Yeah. Yeah, everybody's talking and quite jovial.
All right.
Everybody seems in high spirits. You look over to your dad every once in a while, and he looks at you, and it seems that he's having a hard time meeting your gaze. There's just a hint of sadness, a little hint of sadness, whenever he sees you.
I'm just gonna look over at him and be like, Papa, we gotta be heading out.
I know, child. And then your mother, what?
Yes, Ma, we gotta be. We have to go. We have to leave for a little bit. But
Whoa, what? Wait, what? Where? Why are you leaving? You just got here like 3 days ago.
well, adventuring calls for going out on the road and doing what I do best.
So Davrick is like, he kind of just shakes his head. I don't understand it. I'll never understand it. I don't get it. How do we get a hold of you if something happens?
You send a raven.
Where?
Send it to the Ashburn Mooring. The people know me there. Don't give me that look.
So he's very unsatisfied with that answer. So.
Listen, I will make you a deal. I'll make you all a deal. I will write. I'm shitty at writing, but I will do my best. And I will write to you by Raven once a week. All I ask in return is please stay away from anybody that looks odd, suspicious, foreign. That's all I ask.
So he kind of looks at you and he says, odd as he points at you, suspicious as he points at Daedalus, foreign as he points at Barag. He's like, we have odd, suspicious, and foreign right here at the breakfast table.
Besides us, you jackass!
Fine. So he kind of walks out of the house. Everybody seems to be kind of like starting their day. Yeah, your dad is excited. He's gonna go out to see if he can catch old Grouchy.
Hi, Papa. So you're going out for your morning fishing?
I am, child. It's going to be very difficult to see you walk away again. So if you don't mind, I will be by the old fishing hole. Me and old Grouchy, we have a date with destiny, I think.
Yeah, don't let anyone kick you in after you catch them, okay?
Well met, Daedalus. Well met.
Alright, well, why don't I go with you for one last time? Maybe you can show me how to properly hook a worm.
Okay. All right. Let's go, child. So you guys spend the morning out on the sitting by the pond, and I call it a pond, but it's a very large body of water. And you have a great father-daughter sort of morning moment. You guys talk about when you were a little kid and all the memories that you have specifically about this pond and the big oak tree that is right by the edge of the pond. And you tell him about some of the adventures that you've been on, and some of them he cringes at, and he's like, "Ooh, who would name their tavern the Spread Eagle? Oh, why would you stay there? I don't understand." And so some of the stuff he just doesn't get because it's just not his way, but he just seems to entertain your stories of adventure on the high seas. And so it was a good morning.
Okay, I'm gonna bid my farewells, but head back to the house. And my brothers are still there, or did they leave for the day?
Davrick left. Danzin is still there, though.
Alright, I'm gonna go to Danzin. and just kind of give him a pat on the shoulder and be like, "You take care of yourself. Take care of Ma. Take care of Pa. But you've already been doing that since I've been gone, I take it.
I try my best, sis.
Aye, and keep that asshole Davrick out of trouble."
Yeah, I try. I mean, he's a good guy. He's a good kid. He just doesn't. He's got a little bit of a temper and doesn't really understand kind of what you do and why you do it. I mean, none of us really do, but he doesn't know how to deal with that, I guess.
Hey, then he should go get a wife or something. Get something like that to distract him.
Maybe we'll get him a puppy or something. I don't know.
Lord knows that man needs to get laid. Anyways.
Whoa. All right. So, it's like, are you guys leaving right now?
Aye, we gotta be leaving as soon as possible.
Okay. All right. Well, he gives you a big brotherly hug, and he's like, "Just be careful out there, and I'm gonna miss you. I hope next time we see you, it's celebration."
Aye, of course. Maybe we'll bring some mead down here.
Don't give any to the parents. So. But sure, me and Davrick would more than enjoy human mead.
Aye, well, hopefully you guys
I
don't
hear
get...
it comes in huge containers.
It does, it does. Thankfully we have a big dwarf that can carry those in for us. I don't have to lift a finger.
Okay. So you can see, like, takes a deep breath, and he's almost kind of like, he's feeling uncomfortable with goodbye, so he just kind of gives you a hug and walks away. Says, "Love you, sis," and he just kind of walks away. But you kind of see his shoulders kind of slump a little bit as he walks away.
Okay, I'm gonna see... And my mom's still in there, right?
She's in there. She's busy yelling at Barag.
I'm gonna just try and sneak where she's at, but like try to listen to what she's yelling at him.
So she's just essentially, she's just saying, "Look, you better look after my daughter, you hear me? Because if I find out that she's ever been hurt, I'm coming to look for you. I don't care what mountain you decide to hide under, dwarf. You hear me?" So she's just giving it to him. She's just giving it to him. And Daedalus, what are you doing?
I'm just enjoying the show.
So yeah, Daedalus is looking very happy
Just
with
watching.
himself. Looking very happy with his bloody ebony statue. Ebony fly statue.
It's just dripping.
Yeah. So yeah, so the morning goes quietly. Your mother packs food. You've got about 3 days rations of food. And I will say this: it's not jerky, it's not salted meats. It's like halfling cuisine. So it's really good stuff.
Dibs.
Yeah, you got different fruit pies, and she's giving you preserves in a jar that will last a while. So yeah,
I'll carry the food.
No.
No.
the whole group at the same time says no.
I'm gonna
Why not?
approach
Gee, I wonder.
Terra's mother
Sure.
and just say to her, do you happen to have some kind of thick hide bag or something of that sort that I might be able to purchase from you before we leave?
Let me take a look here. So no, unfortunately I don't. So sorry, lad.
No problem then. I'll just make my way to the leather worker.
Sure. He should be up and about.
So that's what I will do then. I'm gonna turn around and head out the door to the leather worker.
Okay. So you're just looking for like a leather bag?
Yeah, just like a thick leather bag. Yeah.
A head-sized leather bag?
Or bigger even. I mean, who knows what else might end up in there.
Sure. Sure. I will say that you can find a large bag for 10 copper,
Okay.
or a smaller bag, which we'll say a duffel bag,
Okay.
for 10 copper, or you can find like a backpack for 5 copper.
I'm gonna go with the backpack.
The backpack.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you can add that to your inventory.
Okay.
And it was how much copper for the
5.
backpack? 5?
And so I'm going to return with the backpack, and everybody's still just kind of standing around.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's getting ready to leave.
Okay.
So
So I'm just gonna take the head out of my bag and just not make a commotion or anything, but just transfer bags
Okay.
where I'm standing.
I need everybody to make a perception check, please.
I was gonna say, can I make a
Except for
perception
you,
check?
Talvis.
5.
6.
18.
So you're the only one who notices it. He just grabs like a chunk full of hair and quickly. Yeah, actually, you know what? Let's make this sleight of hand. Sleight of hand versus your perception.
I'll be out. Roll it.
8.
You did.
Oof. No. Okay, so you definitely see him take this severed head by the hair and then quickly transfer it to a new bag. Starting to look a little ripe. It's starting to bloat a little bit. And
I'm just gonna seal up the bag as best as I can with whatever means it has for that.
Okay.
So.
So that's where all the blood came from on that fly statue.
Some
And
of
I'm
it.
gonna kind of like look my way towards Daedalus and kind of like motion towards to Talvis, like.
I'm gonna walk over to Daedalus and undo the bag that I just put the bag in and say, you were probably gonna find out sooner or later. You might want to wash that statue off and just like hold it under his face for him to see, and then just tie it back up.
so as he opens the bag, you see a head. The face is looking right at you. His eyes are wide open. Just blood all over the place. So what do?
I smack him upside
Smack him
down.
upside the head. Right.
Can I react to that at all, or am I just smacked?
No, let's do an attack roll.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll your d20. It's an unarmed attack.
It's a 3.
3.
I roll as well.
What's your strength?
My strength is like pitiful 10.
10. Okay, so just a straight 3. So your armor class is well over 3. So you can take it if you want.
Take the slap.
Yeah.
I'm gonna maybe like shift so that
So he
like
misses.
yeah, and he like hits his hand on my armor.
Sure.
And then try to like flick him in the forehead. So
Roll to attack. Should I roll initiative?
should we roll initiative? Is that what-
I'm asking you.
I feel like
Let's
Let's-
roll
let's
initiative.
go.
For
The
flicking and
more-
slapping.
It's a slap. It's a slap fight.
11.
Wait.
11.
19.
Alright, so that was a surprise round from Daedalus. I'll let you have this attack,
Okay.
and then no, actually, because he rolled a higher initiative, so he gets to go again. So you hit. So he kind of shifts. You hit him in the shoulder, but you see an open opportunity to get one more before he has an opportunity to strike, and you see him tense up very quickly. So what do you do?
So I'm gonna go for this one more smack upside the head.
Sure.
Let's hope I got a 14.
14 plus 0. 0.
Yeah,
right?
0.
Okay, so what's your armor class?
18.
18. Okay, so again, he just manages to kind of slide out of the way. So the slaps are continuing from Daedalus, and they are unrelenting.
Can I attempt to? So I was gonna try to flick him in the forehead, but can I attempt to like shake and bake a little bit with my hands, just like, oh, where am I at? And then
Yeah.
just like, bam, in his forehead.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Make a performance check.
Okay. Okay.
Meanwhile, my mom and I are just like.
13. Is that
So what's-
dexterity modifier?
You should have a
Oh,
performance.
so 14 modified.
14
Yeah.
total? Okay, so 14. So you see him, he starts kind of like moving his feet, shaking his shoulders, and then hits you. So did you roll your attack?
I didn't know.
So go ahead and roll your attack.
2.
So you see it coming from a mile away. He's gonna flick you right in your forehead with his finger, and you manage to just kind of like, you want to slap it out of the way?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you go in for the big flick on the head, and then he just kind of like, with undaedalus like speed, just slaps you, very Steven Seagal style, like.
Kung Fu.
Your turn.
I am aiming to get that.
Do I see this happening?
Absolutely. You see. It's like slap war.
I
It's an
aim.
end all war.
I just aim to get that one smack upside his head.
Sure.
Girl fight, and I jump in and just tackle them both.
I need you to roll initiative so I can get you in this.
Yes. Hey man, I got 19.
19. All right, so you're gonna go after Daedalus,
Okay.
and then Talvis. All right, so go ahead.
So I'm gonna try and get that one little smack. I'm not getting that little smack.
What'd you
That's
roll?
a 2.
2. Ooh. All right, so you go for the smack, but you don't know if it's Talvis's fast feet or shimmering shoulders that are just kind of like shooken and jiving. Throws you off your game. Barag?
I go to tackle Talvis, and I'm gonna trip Daedalus on the way through.
This escalated very quickly. All right, so
In typical Barag
so
fashion.
you do get extra attack, so you will be able to do both.
Sweet.
So go ahead and roll against Daedalus.
19.
Woo! All right, you definitely hit Daedalus. How many points of damage do you want to do?
I'm tripping him, so I'm gonna
Just-
give him
just a
ankle
trip?
twist
Okay.
damage.
Gotcha. Ankle twist.
Ankle twist damage.
Barag comes with a leg sweep right behind the knee, and you just and you fall down with a little. I'll say half a point of ankle twist damage. That ankle is giving you a lot of hard times. So now you're on your knee. You are
The
officially
Daedalus
in the
ankle
prone
twist
position,
damage.
which means you have disadvantage for any future spot or flick. Now it is your second attack.
I'm gonna tackle Talvis. You know. 4, strength, 8, 9, 10, 11.
11. What's your armor class?
18.
18. All right. So you're dancing, and you moving your shoulders, you shimmy left to right, and you see a flying dwarf coming right at you, and he's it's almost like a football tackle. He's like completely horizontal, and you just kind of move out of the way, and you just see him kind of slide about 10 feet in the grass right past you.
So,
But Daedalus is in a compromising position. He is prone right now.
oh, he is. Okay.
And it is your turn.
How far away is Barag now?
About 10 feet away.
I'm 10 feet. So I'd like to take my movement to get closer to him,
Sure.
and then I'd like to. I have an empty flask.
Okay.
I'd like to reach into my bag and attempt to crack the empty flask over his head.
Sure. As you move away, Daedalus, you do get an attack of opportunity. I'm sorry, a flick or slap of opportunity. But it will be at disadvantage because you're prone.
Hopefully I
So,
can trip him on his way past.
You get to roll twice.
17 and a 1.
Oof. All right. So the one stands. You try to. Would you try to trip him?
I was gonna try and trip him because he was walking past me. I'm lower to the ground now, so I
Right.
can just kind of reach my foot out. And go,
So you're at the top of the embankment, right by where the pond is, and you go for a leg sweep, and you completely miss, and you start sliding slowly on your back all the way down to the pond. So who's next?
I was gonna
Talvis,
try
yes.
to hit him with the flask over
Right.
the head.
Go for it.
Okay. So is that just gonna be an attack roll?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I see him coming towards me?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
19.
19. What's your armor class?
18.
18. So you see Daedalus or Talvis pull out a flask from his bag, and he has intentions with this flask. He just reaches back with the flask and bam, nailed on his head,
Yeah. Right. Just right on top of his head.
right on the top of your head, and you see a little dent in the flask when you hit him. All right. So what's your strength?
Total strength 14, 2 modifier.
So 2. I'll say 3 with the flask. So you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage. It went from a flick to a slap to
Like we were hurting each other.
yeah. Now blood is being shed.
Can I still use that flask?
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
dented?
you will have a little less fluid in it now because
Right.
it's dented in. But
Cool. I get to keep it.
Yeah.
I've written that one off.
Barag dented flask.
One dented empty flask.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now he not only has that
So
crossbow bow.
he rang your
from
bell.
my ass.
He rang your bell with that flask.
Ah! So I start yelling, and I'm gonna turn around. Wait, it's not my turn though.
It is actually
Yeah.
Daedalus' turn. Yes.
Can I get up out of this problem?
That will take half your movement, but you can get up.
Okay, I'm gonna get up
Okay.
and just be like, yeah, forget this. I'm gonna walk away.
Alright.
I'm gonna let these two fight it out.
Gotcha. All right. So Daedalus kind of just shuffles. He gets up. He kind of shifts his coat and just walks off, very satisfied with himself. Alright, so.
You bloody weenie!
Alright.
You started this crap!
It's your turn, in fact.
So I'm really gonna swiftly turn around, but as I do that, I'm gonna knock his feet out from under him. Talvis'
Gotcha.
feet out from under him.
Okay.
20, natural 20.
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
I'm thoroughly sweating.
Yeah, you are flat on your ass. What's your strength?
My strength is 4. Oh, well. Yeah, strength is 4 plus proficiency. 4, 5, 6, 7.
No, what's your.
Oh.
What's your. It's
Oh.
+4?
Yeah, plus 4 on
Okay,
strength.
gotcha. Okay, so you take 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
Meanwhile, her
This
character
went
says,
sideways very quickly.
and meanwhile, she's just watching this. Her mother's just watching this. They're not stopping. Now it's just them because I walked off.
Yep.
Well, as far as Mother High Hill is concerned, it's just boys will be boys.
I second that, Mama.
Yeah.
Why don't you say we get some coffee? This is a good entertaining show.
So, what do you guys do?
Would it be my turn?
It would be your turn.
Okay, so I'm gonna get up on my feet.
Mm-hmm.
Just be like, truce. I can't afford any more dented flasks, and I'm very tempted. So this isn't working for either of us right now. We're both bleeding. Let's call it a truce, and drink some more goat's milk.
Fine.
Okay.
I can't afford any more dented flasks. Alright.
That should be the episode.
Oh man. I can't afford any more dented flasks.
And then I'm gonna stay outside,
Sure.
but just hopefully disengage from that whole
Sure.
encounter.
Well, Daedalus is already gone.
Okay.
He's already standing next to Mama High Hill and Terra, and he's drinking his tiny little cup of caffeinated beverage. Looking very happy. And Barag?
I'm gonna yell, Terra! Daedalus! Get your lazy asses out here, we gotta get a move on.
Oh, they're outside. They're watching you guys.
Oh, I thought they
With
were
our
inside.
pinkies up.
Oh, you're all outside.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
then I motion them over and say, finish up your caffeinated beverages with your pinkies out. Let's go. We gotta get a move on. We've
Alright.
wasted enough time.
So, are you guys heading north?
We're
To
heading.
the Brunova?
I would
Yes.
like to head north.
Okay. So you guys
I
say your
second it.
goodbyes. Obviously, the halfling home of High Hill. They say the door is always open for you guys, especially you, Talvis. You saved the patriarch of this family, and they're indebted to you. Yeah, their door is always open. So you head out.
Are we on foot at this point?
You are on foot.
Okay.
So as you head north, it's a cold, brisk day, but it's also sunny. It's a road not often traveled. There's a lot of growth, undergrowth from the forest. It's not like a jungle forest. It's just like almost like on the East Coast. Just a lot of big, tall trees and things like that. And you still have the sound of the babbling brook that flowed from about halfway from the Ashburn moorings through the Halfling village into that pond, and it's still going north in that direction. Actually, going back the other way. But yeah, you still have the fresh water. Yeah. So what do you guys do? What's the marching order?
I'm gonna say we have him in front just because he knows how to get there, than myself, because, rogue.
Then I'll stand next, and then he'll bring up the rear, so he can watch her back.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So hold on. Let me get the menus really quick. All right. So as you walk, you guys don't. Hold on. You guys don't notice anything out of the ordinary. It's very quiet. Go ahead and put them in whatever order you And you left at about, I want to say around 1 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you left at about 1 o'clock, and now the sun is starting to set. So what would you like to do? You're gonna keep traveling through the night, or?
I'd like to attempt to cast Healing Word on myself and see if I can discern any effect.
Sure.
So that is just a straight 1d4 plus modifier. That would be 1 and 7.
Okay. So as you cast your spell, you don't feel any divine energy coursing through you.
Okay.
Okay. So are you traveling through the night, or are you gonna make camp?
We should stop and make camp. I'm a little tired after our tussle we had back there.
The slot fights end all slot fights.
I've still got energy. I
All
don't know.
right, so you find the road looks very much the way it looks like on the map. It's a trail, but every once in a while you see some growth from the forest kind of on the trail. But you can get a nice space right off the trail, like one of these squares here, one here if you want. But you guys are about halfway to the Abreu Nova right now.
Yeah,
So
I
you
say
guys-
we take a rest.
Yeah. Okay. So I need a survival check. Who's gonna make that campfire? Or are you guys gonna make that campfire?
I will make a campfire. I will
Well,
make a campfire.
You can do it assisted. Remember, don't forget.
I was gonna say,
I'll make it. I have
'cause how much
proficiency.
you have proficiency,
Yeah, I got proficiency on survival, so I get my bonus. So
Alright.
I will do it.
and then I'll give him advantage
Okay, go for it.
to help.
So 5, 6, 7.
Okay.
Well,
You get to roll again.
Is that a 1? A 7?
No, 7,
Okay.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
So it takes a little while. Anybody gathering firewood, or
That would be me.
that would be you? I thought you were assisting him.
Oh yeah, that's right. I thought.
I guess we will.
Daedalus and Talvis fetch some firewood.
I am going to. Is the fire already going? Like they got it?
No,
Partly
it's starting to smoke a little bit. They're using twigs and leaves, dry leaves to.
We need something better.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take out the holy symbol that I got off of the guy in the Ashburn Moorings, and I'll just look at Barag and say, well, I'll get it started for you, and I'll throw. I still have mine, but I'll throw the other holy symbol at the base of the fire.
Alright. So you throw the holy symbol in there, and it starts to smoke. Eventually it starts to get consumed by the flames.
And I'm looking rather satisfied with that, I think.
Sure.
And then I will head out, and if we still need to get firewood.
Okay.
Do I see that it's another holy symbol that looks just like his, or
You don't really know the difference between either
The
one
two?
of them. You just see him throw a holy symbol into the fire.
so I don't
It's not this
notice
one.
like so I don't notice like it has the same symbol or anything like that, or
Well, it
can I
has
make
the same symbol because they come from the same order.
okay.
So, can you shut that window? I'm hearing the rampant howls of rabid terriers outside.
Is that what that was?
Sounds like you're getting
Yeah.
attacked.
Guys, you hear that? What do you do? Alright, so.
Terriers.
Alright, so.
I'm just thinking Barag on a big old terrier going like riding into battle.
So, what do you guys do? You guys bunk down for the evening?
Mhm.
I am gonna stay.
I'll stay
up.
watch.
Oh,
Okay.
well, it's like 2 of us are staying watch tonight, while the other 2
Well, I don't really sleep, so I'll just be sitting off to the side. I'll help keep minimal watch, though.
Okay.
Since
So-
only one of you can see in the dark.
Who's
That'd be
first,
him.
second, third, fourth?
I'll go second. She'll go first.
You sure you don't want him to go first? Because he could see in the night.
Well, so can he. He's a dwarf.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
They spend all their time on the ground, so.
I can
I'll
also see in
say-
the dark.
I'll say
You first. I'm second. He's
Yeah.
third.
works for me.
And then
Talvis
Talvis is last.
last.
Okay. So, through your respective guard shifts, everything seems quiet. It is as it should be, until Daedalus. I need you to make a perception roll.
A little too quiet.
15.
15. Okay. What's your modifier?
There's a. See, what was that?
It should be on your skills list.
Perception.
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 Is it 6?
It should be on your skills list.
Oh, skills. Oh, right there.
Yeah, it is a 6.
Yeah, I got it right.
Okay. So your roll plus 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what's your total?
See, that's.
21, right?
So 21. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 21. So as you you come out of your meditative state and you take your guard watch, your post, you're looking at the fire crackle in the evening, and it's coming down to some embers now. The rest of the group is sleeping, and behind you do hear the rustling of leaves and branches. About 15 to 20 feet away, but coming behind you.
Ooh.
What do you do?
So I turn around and. Is there a rock near me?
I would say yeah. There's you guys made a fire pit of stones, but the stones are very hot.
Was this hoping to find one that's not in the fire or near the fire?
So yeah, you can find a stone about the size of the palm of your hand, I would say.
Okay, I'm gonna grab it and I'm gonna cast light on it.
Okay.
So, and
well, remember you can see you have night vision as well.
yeah, but just to make extra special sure what's out there.
Okay.
Because while I do have dark vision, it's safe to, maybe light up the rock and then throw it out there.
Okay. So you cast your magic spell and the light, the rock actually starts to illuminate a very bright light. So what do you do?
So I chuck it out towards the direction where I heard the noise come from.
So go ahead and just roll your d20.
13.
13. So as you chuck the rock, you follow the light, and then you hear, "Ow!" and see somebody kind of walking through the brush.
Why were you hiding out there?
So what you see an elven male, a young elven male, probably in his teens. He's got his
What's
bow.
teens to an elf?
Well, relative. He's got his bow out and his arrow drawn. Looks worse for wear. It looks like he's seen better days. And behind him, you see some human folk. You see another elf, and then you see one dwarf as well, kind of in a marching order of their own, as it were. And he's like, "Oh, friend, we're not here to make trouble. We just want to make sure you're not one of them."
Don't worry. Are you refugees from the town?
Yeah, we're headed to a safe haven in the Halfling Village, and I heard some city somewhere where we can get on a boat and get out of here. I need you guys to make perception rolls, see if you hear any of this.
Me as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
21.
Well, the crap she's hearing everything.
13.
15. 15.
So all of you guys are kind of like, as soon as Daedalus starts the conversation, you kind of come out of your sleep and you hear somebody in the camp with you. Actually, more than one person. And you see these people all look haggard. Some of them look like they haven't eaten in days. Men, women, children. They're dirty. They don't look like they've been very well kept, well fed. Some of them seem to be suffering from dehydration. Some of them have, just wraps around their feet. They don't even have shoes. They just have foot wraps, and those foot wraps are covered in mud and blood. And they're like, we would be in your debt if we could share a bit of your fire.
I come join us then.
So you hear him, he's, come on you lot, we've got friendlies. So you see, slowly but surely you see, one or two families, come out of the woods, along with a dwarf. Barag, make a perception check.
8.
8 plus.
Nothing. I don't have anything
Okay,
for perception.
All right. So you don't recognize the dwarf, but the dwarf recognizes you.
Blasted.
General Barag.
Aye, that's me.
Boy.
Former general.
So he walks up to you and he kind of puts his hand on your shoulder. I was one of your captains. Long time ago, in the Battle of Riss. So good to see you. You're going to the Avernova.
Indeed we are.
A lot of mercenary work there. A lot of people need taken out.
That's what we're heading for. We're heading for war.
You should be heading the opposite way.
Well, someone's got to do that work around here.
I get it. We're in rescue mode. You don't want to know the things that are happening there. They have monsters there. They force people to fight these monsters for sport.
Oh. Well, luckily, my friend, I love fighting for sport. It's what I live for.
Nobody
You
makes it
remember
out of
that.
that. Nobody makes it out of their life.
Wow.
It's a death sentence.
So was me getting dropped by the beholder, 100 feet, a beholder, and I lived to tell the tale. So I dare them to try to kill me.
May the gods watch over you then.
I wish you could come with us, my friend.
I've got to get these people to safety.
I understand. You need to get them all to safety.
Yeah, we don't have strikes of any sort of military significance. We just try to sneak out a few people at a time and continue for as long as we can and save as many people as we can until these fanatics, this cult, is abolished.
Well, that's what we're aiming to do.
So, as you're talking to the dwarf, you see the elf kind of look at you, look your way. He sees your shield and he puts up his bow and he draws the string back. And he goes, you're one of them.
I'm going to draw my crossbow and point it at him.
That's not
All right.
a good idea.
Natural 20.
Oh.
So he lets loose the arrow, and it finds purchase right in your neck.
Ah!
All right, so let me do damage. So, and just blood starts to just kind of spurt out. D8. 6. So you take 10 points of damage, of piercing damage. And as soon as he lets loose the arrow, you see him like grab another arrow from the quiver.
And am I seeing this?
Yeah.
Can I?
I'm gonna interrupt between these two. I'm gonna
You
look
see-
towards.
You see the refugees just take off into the woods, and that dwarf that you were talking to, I gotta wrangle up these people. Stay safe out there, Barag.
Aye, you too, my friend. I'll see you on the other side.
Kill him,
Guaranteed.
by the way. And he kind of like looks at Talvis, as he goes chasing it. Like everybody's just kind of like spread out as soon as the arrow was let loose. Yeah. So you hear him tromp off into the night. He's like, "Wait, you lot, come back!" So, what do you do?
He's an elf. The guy
Yeah.
that just shot me. I'm gonna speak to him in Elvish, and just say it. I mean you no harm. You intruded on our party. What is the meaning of this?
So he still has his bow drawn, and he just takes off.
Can I fire a crossbow bolt at
You
him?
can. You can
Just
fire
like,
crossbow.
okay.
Absolutely.
Vengeance.
Yeah, he knows this is a fight he can't win. So.
Okay. 17.
17. All right, so that definitely hits. Roll damage, please. It's a 1d8.
Got it. That is buried. Okay. 4.
4. Okay, so you fire your crossbow bolt. It's super dark. You've got light coming from the opposite direction, from the rock. You fire. You raise your crossbow and you take your best guess, and you hear it hit. And you hear him actually kind of fall, lose his footing, and then get back up and continue to run.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I do a medicine check on myself to try to get this arrow
Yeah.
out or stem whatever's
Yeah,
going on?
you don't really have to do a medicine check for that.
Okay.
But yeah, you can actually apply. You know, you've got a kit, a medicine kit, so you can apply bandages as needed.
I will do that.
Yeah.
I'm hurting. Okay. So I will turn to Barag and say, who's that guy you were talking to? What is going on? I've got an arrow in my neck.
Well, I don't know what the hell the elf was doing. That's up to our friend Daedalus here, but that dwarf was a former captain of mine when I was a general a long time ago. From an era I wish I could forget.
Yeah, he mentioned the Battle of Riss, which is a very famous battle that you had commanded and won. So.
And I'm gonna sit there and like ponder for a second and say, turn to Daedalus and say, were they coming from the direction of the city?
Yes, they were. So they're afraid when he saw the symbol on your shield. They mistook you for someone in that city.
Gonna just kind of shake my head
I wonder why.
and I'm gonna say it just doesn't make sense.
You might want to
Haven't-
switch deities there.
They haven't been offered conversion. It is
Maybe because your god is fucking insane. Maybe. Just maybe.
maybe
Maybe.
maybe just a little bit.
So you pull the arrow the rest of the way through.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
So
definitely.
you have a bandage there. You stop the bleeding, cauterize the wound.
Yeah.
You do have medicine, so you could stop the bleeding.
I'm gonna do whatever I can to stem the bleeding.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you managed to do that. You can hear the sizzle of the burning flesh when you cauterize the arrow, but you will not get infected though.
Cool.
So you guys finish out the rest of your evening, relatively quiet. Are you going to take your last shift, or are you going to rest? Now you won't get the benefit of a full long rest now because you lost damage
Right.
in the middle of the evening, so you could take a short rest and use hit die,
Okay. But then will there
or
be
you can
anybody?
leave later.
Will that leave anybody on watch if I take a short rest?
I could do it. Remember,
Yeah,
Me- as an elf,
that's up
I-
to you guys.
Okay.
I'll take it as an elf. I don't need to sleep, so I'll take your watch.
Then I will take the short rest.
Okay,
And
so-
hit die is 1d8.
1d8. So how many hit die do you want? You have up to 5 hit die that you can use.
Oh, okay. And does that?
You have as many hit die as your level,
Okay.
so
And how does that reset?
a long rest.
Long rest. Okay. Well, I am I'm hurting, so I will use, let's say, 2.
2?
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead and roll your d8s and add it to your health.
4 and 8.
8.
Cool.
Ooh, nice. Nice. Alright, so you rest up for the rest of the evening. You allow the health potions and salves and balms for the burn and all that to take effect. You do get your short rest. Daedalus, I believe you don't have to worry about your spell slots. So
Because
I don't think you've used anything yet.
I just use cantrips. That's it.
Yeah. So so you wake up in the morning, bright and early. It's colder, obviously, because it's the morning, but you've got that morning dew kind of on everything, even on your clothes. You guys are kind of soaked from just the dew in the morning.
Lovely.
Yeah. So what do you do?
Well, we best get going then. It seems the situation only grows more urgent based on what we witnessed last night. I'll just kind of rub the wound on my neck.
I just kind of sniff him. Yeah, I guess. Let's go.
Let's go.
Alright, same marching order.
Same more.
Aye. It's gonna move over.
Who's first?
That is
Neck wound over there.
Neck wound is first?
Neck wound is first.
It'll heal. It'll heal.
Alright, Talvis, I need you to make a perception roll.
17.
Nice. Alright, so as you guys are walking in single file, you see something about 150 feet up ahead, off to the side of the main road. It's hard to tell what it is. It's large. It's humanoid, but it appears to be kind of like crouched down on the side of the road. It's back facing to you, and it looks like it's eating something. You have no idea, but with the high enough perception roll, as you're kind of scanning exactly what it's eating, you do see a human hand kind of off to the left of this creature, and it's whatever it is, it's just kind of engorging itself.
Okay. Stop. And I'm gonna point in the direction of what I'm seeing. Say, we've got company.
So as soon as you say stop, you see his head kind of like turn, and he stands up. He's about 7 foot tall, and he's just loaded with muscles. You can see muscles rippling underneath this thin fur, the coat of fur. It looks like it's got piecemeal armor. Some of the armor just looks like it's been scavenged. So there is some sort of intelligence with this particular creature. And as it turns around, it kind of sniffs the air, and it sees the 4 of you. It starts making its way to you. Alright, so I need everybody to roll initiative, please.
Initiative. 18.
I got a 2.
I got a 10.
14.
Okay, so I should probably roll for Bugbears, huh?
That would help.
They tied. No, they actually beat you.
No. I refuse to believe it.
Wow.
Alright, so
Wow.
Bugbears. No. Alright, Terra. Don't start.
Guys, we
Start.
should really,
Whoa.
instead of us
Whoa.
going wow, we should just like get a soundbite of it, just play it
Whoa.
in random places.
I don't want to piss Owen Wilson off.
Wow.
Wow, you guys, I'm gonna sue you guys. Wow. You guys in your D&D game. Alright, so
Right.
I'm sorry, I lost track after Terra. 18,
14.
14. Okay.
10.
And then 2 for Cav.
Yeah, I got a whopping 2, so I'm not at the head of them.
2. Okay. And
10.
10.
This is gonna stink.
Barag.
Hey, better
You know
place
what? I
than
think
nothing.
as the caster, I probably prefer going last. It's just me though. Alright, so we've got 3 bugbears. Oh, I'm sorry, 1 bugbear. Oh, I just screwed up, huh? Now you guys know what's coming. Alright, so you've got 1 bugbear, and he's making his way towards Terra High Hill. He's going to take his movement and move right up to you. And he is got... So what's your armor class?
17.
17. So he runs up to you. He's got his morning star in his hand. He's just swinging it, and you can hear this thing cutting the air. It's heavy. Swings above your head and completely misses. But he only gets 1 attack, thankfully. So
So is that halfling luck or halfling height?
We'll call it a little column A and a little column B. Alright, so Terra,
Alright, so
you're up.
I am going to attack with my dual wield. Yeah, he's close enough. So I'm gonna attack first with my frostbrand dagger, and then second with my enchanted dagger.
Go for it.
And then I don't get sneak attack damage, right?
No,
right?
because nobody's in melee.
Okay.
You know. Hold on. You could hold your action until somebody gets in melee range, and then
I can use my action.
use your action then.
Yeah, can I do that then?
You want to hold your action?
Yeah, I'm gonna hold my action.
So when somebody else is in melee range.
Yes.
Gotcha. And so what the mechanic behind that is when that happens, it would be like both of you attacking at the same time.
Okay, cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So immediately, as soon as you go into range, she attacks and then you attack.
Nice.
All right. So Terra, that is going to end your turn. Daedalus. No, not Daedalus.
I'm in dead.
Talvis. Is it Tal? Yes, Talvis is next.
Okay. I'm going to take my movement to back up a little bit
Okay.
to the side and back a little.
Sure.
And I will take a crossbow shot
Go for it.
at this fine bugbear in front of us. It's 5.
5. Okay. Total. 5 total.
Yes.
Or did you roll a 1?
I rolled a 5. It was a little cocked, but I mean, it's
you
fine.
rolled a natural 5.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you rolled a 1 and
Oh, no.
modifiers because Barag was gonna get it again.
Straight fire.
Alright, so
No.
is that gonna do anything?
Actually, I was standing behind him, so.
What?
Barag would got me.
This is a
Tripped on a
world of
twig.
magic.
Would be the most unrealistic
It would
thing.
just fly around in the air as you whistled. And
Yeah.
Right into my
Ankle
hand.
twist damage.
Maybe as he's bringing his crossbow up, he accidentally hits the trigger. It goes up and then comes down.
Very Looney
Who
Tunes
knows?
style.
He already figured it out.
knows?
That happened.
Barag, it's your turn.
God.
I'm gonna take movement
Okay.
and get into melee range with him.
Tara,
I will.
you are
also-
holding your action, so go for it.
Yes.
18.
18.
Nice. All right, that's a hit. So
Okay,
go
and
roll
that's
roll
with
damage,
my frostbrand.
and it's sneak attack damage as well.
Yep.
So that's 3d6. Fucking rogues, man, with that damage.
17, 18, 19, 20. 28.
28. You kill it.
It evaporates.
It's gone.
With 1 hit. You take your describe it, please. I'm mystified right now. Go ahead, describe
So,
it.
so as Barag is in front of him, I yelled to him, "Push me up!" And he gets his shield ready, and I just push up on his not his shield, his warhammer, and jump up in the air and go behind his neck, and just with both my daggers, my frostbrand, and my enchanted, just go slicing all the way down his spine from
Ooh,
the
boy.
neck down.
You guys tag teamed it.
Yeah, and you actually see, Barag, you actually see the blades. She's behind it. You actually see the blades kind of protrude right through his chest and kind of slide down as she's sliding down the front of him. And he kind of like, he's got one piece in the middle and he's got one on the left and one on the right, and they all kind of like just separate as it falls down.
That's my little halfling.
Yep.
Hell
and
yeah.
I need Daedalus and I need Talvis. I need you guys to make a perception check, please.
Ooh. That's gonna be a 9 for me.
I rolled a 7, and that's plus a 6, right?
You got it.
13.
Yeah, 13.
13? Okay, so Daedalus, you actually, you can hear movement in the, and it's not the you don't hear falling dice. What you hear is rustling in the forest, actually making its way towards you. Heavy footsteps on your side of the road. Talvis, you have no idea that this is coming.
Oh.
So I am going to. What's your armor class?
18.
Okay, that's a hit. Okay. You see another bugbear coming right out of the woods, pretty well camouflaged against the foliage of the forest with its brown fur, but its footsteps are like drum beats, just boom, 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 as it's making its way towards you. It has its mace. It starts swinging its mace around, and you actually don't even see it coming. So let me go ahead and do 2d8 damage. Wow. 3, 4, 5 points of piercing damage, but he also gets surprise attack damage. So that's awesome. And an additional 8 points of damage from surprise.
Okay, 13.
So yeah, it just brings its mace back and kind of clocks you, rings your bell pretty good. And then Daedalus, you get attacked by the second bugbear. It rolls a 1. So I will say there's a very good chance. So as it swings its morning star right over your head and actually hits its other bugbear compatriot, does.
Nice shot.
Sir, I'm not counting that as vicious mockery. It's just Daedalus flavor.
Daedalus flavor.
Wow, it did. Well, sorry. It did 14 points of damage on its fellow bugbear.
Ooh.
So the one that was attacking Talvis. It's more than half the time.
Wow.
So, guys, we are not going to be able to get through this. Everybody's saying wow. Okay? So let's.
You started it.
I know, I apologize. I can't say I'm sorry enough, but as soon as you guys leave, I'm saying it every 3 minutes or so. Okay? Alright, so yeah, you see this bugbear just take the mace. You kind of duck underneath, and it hits its other bugbear compatriot. Does massive amounts of damage. You could actually see the jaw dislocate on the other bugbear, and you hear it go as its head moves violently. Next, we have Terra. You're up.
Okay. Okay, so
And Talvis, you're on deck.
has this bugbear, the one next to Barag, noticed me or no?
I will say no. You were actually over by the initial attack. So
Okay, I'm gonna use my stealth.
I rolled, and he definitely did not notice you. What did you roll?
4, 7.
You know you have inspiration. You guys don't use it.
I don't have inspiration
Oh, okay.
anymore, sir.
What did you roll?
16.
Oh, you hide from him.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
These guys aren't the most perceptive of
Oh,
creatures.
okay. Well, I don't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, you You think you're pretty well hidden.
Okay. So I'm gonna use my dual wield.
Sure. Now you have advantage on the first strike, right?
Yes,
Go
and
for
that's
it.
gonna be with my. Maybe I should use it's this one. With my Frostbrand dagger.
Sure. Were you just selecting dice?
Do you understand that the last game I rolled 4 1s in a row?
Okay.
Selecting dice
Fair
is
enough.
very important.
Fair enough.
See, that's why.
What'd you roll?
16, and then
Nice.
plus my proficiency, it's 19.
Remember, you have advantage, so even though you hit, take the second roll because you might roll 20 for a critical.
No.
No. Okay. So, all right, great. So go ahead and roll damage on the first strike.
Okay.
Million dice for damage. Rogues.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Okay. 8,
Break out the abacus.
16, 19, 27.
You kill this one too. Oh my goodness. What is happening? Alright, so 27 health is exactly what we have. Alright, so actually no. Was that the one that you attacked previously that you're attacking?
It was the one that was attacking
Daedalus, right?
Daedalus,
Okay,
yes.
alright, so yeah. Okay. So how do you kill this thing? Describe the moment of victory.
So I'm gonna, since I'm behind him and I'm in stealth, he doesn't notice me, I'm gonna run up his back, go along by his neck and the front of his neck, hop over, and then just slice all the way diagonal down from his neck down to his bottom.
Nice.
By his armpit.
Nice. All right, and you cleanly cleave off the shoulder and neck piece. It just kind of slides off the rest of the body as he falls down to his knees and then falls over. Nice. Well done. Oh my goodness. You're getting some killer rolls. You still have movement and you still have
My second attack. Yes.
Right.
So, do I roll for my stealth again, or am I still, or can he see me?
He can see you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
His buddy just turned into Jello, Bugbear Jello right in front of him, so.
Yeah, kind of noticeable right there.
Go for it.
Dang it.
What'd you roll?
5, hold on, give me a second.
Add it up.
I'm adding it up. 13.
You never know. You only missed it by 3.
Mm.
So, alright, so that is going to end your turn?
Yes.
Alright, Terra, good turn. Again. Talvis. I'm looking at you and I'm saying Talvis. It's Talvis' turn.
Okay, you know we got one left. I'm gonna turn around and take a swing at it with my warhammer.
Go for it.
19.
Woo. Go ahead and roll damage. That's a hit.
5 plus strength, 7.
7?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So, yeah, you see teeth just fly out of this thing's mouth, teeth and blood. As it falls down to one knee, you hear it like with a grunt, like, and is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
Barag, you're up. And who is in the back? Terra's in the back?
Mm-hmm.
Terra, I need you to make a perception roll. Por favor. What's
Hold on.
that?
7.
Nah, that's not gonna cut it. Alright, so, alright. Barag, here go.
I'm gonna turn around, take movement to get right in front of him,
Sure.
and take my attack.
Go for it.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17,
That hits.
20.
Yeah.
A modified 20. Yep.
Go for it.
Perfect.
Roll your damage, sure.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Describe to me the moment of your victory. Oh, and I believe something happens with that hammer of yours, right?
Indeed, it does.
Lay it down for me.
So, I raise my Chimera Rising and I take a running start at him and I rise above my head and I hit his huge club down out of his hand and then I raise it back and I just uppercut into his chin and then all you hear is as his brains go flying out his head.
Nice. So you hit it hard. You hit it hard, and the back of his skull it's almost like an exit wound. It just pops right open, and his brains just come flying right out. Well done, sir. Terra, in the meantime, so that's going to be Barag's turn. Daedalus, I need you to make a perception check as well, since it's actually your turn next in the initiative.
Is that a 9?
That's a 9.
It's a 9.
No. Plus whatever do I put my perception modifier down?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's a plus 6.
6, nice, 15. So Terra doesn't see it, but she's relishing the victory that Barag and Terra have won against this massive, well, not massive, but these huge creatures.
Massive to me.
Massive to you, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you might want to say the victory dance because I think I hear something else.
Yes, you do hear something else. It's actually approaching right from her left through the woods, and these footsteps are huge. They're bigger than either one of those previous bugbears. And as it comes charging at Terra High Hill, you see that it's probably a full foot taller than either of the any of the 3 bugbears that you have felled in this battle. So it's going to take its surprise attack on Terra. And what is your
17?
17? Oh wait, hold on, disadvantage. Believe it or not, it missed with 2 rolls. So yeah, you see this big. You didn't even know it was there. You just kind of feel something like graze at the top of your head, and you look up and you just see this massive, hairy giant, this beast, just fangs and gore kind of dripping from its maw, and it's looking at you with evil intent. So that's gonna end his. Actually, he actually has multi attacks. So let me get his second attack in. 9. The second attack misses too. Holy cow! Your turn, Terra.
Terra?
I thought it was my turn.
I thought it was.
Oh, Daedalus. I'm sorry. Yes. Daedalus.
So, just to help out, I'm going to go the vicious mockery route.
Go for it.
So, now I just have to. So I don't have to. Do I have to roll?
No, it just has to make a wisdom save against your spell DC. So which is 13 or 14?
I think it was 14.
14.
It was 8
yes.
plus proficiency and then my charisma modifier? Or no, it was my wisdom modifier. What was it?
Well, it only rolled an 11.
So
yeah, you look at this creature that just trounced out of the woods, and you viciously mock this bugbear chieftain. So tell me, how do you viciously mock this bugbear?
Oh, your mother's a pelt in a den.
Your mother is a pelt in a den. Nice. And you can tell that you hurt this thing's feelings. It kind of like, it stops for a second and it goes, like it was confused. Roll d4 psychic damage, please.
It's the first one is 1 and the second one is also 1.
So 2. Okay. Now it has disadvantage on its next roll, and you really hurt its feelings. Well done, Daedalus. Well done. Bugbear's turn. So it got the surprise attack. Now it's its regular turn in the rotation. So 15 on Terra. Holy cow, Terra High Hill. 7. Why do I bother? Why do I bother showing up today?
Maybe you should switch out your dice there.
You know what?
DM?
Guys, you know what? We're not playing anymore. I'm just giving you guys XP.
That's
it.
Yay!
We're done.
Level 20.
We want all the D&D, guys. All right, so yeah, it takes 2 massive swings with its Morning Star, and it completely misses you. And it is your turn.
Hello. I'm just gonna wave at it. Hello.
That's a bonus action.
Go for it. We'll say it's a free action.
There we go.
There you
My free action.
go. Go for it.
So I'm going to. Let me see. I don't have sneak attack. I don't think.
Talvis is within
Melee range. Yeah.
so yes, you do have sneak attack.
Yes. I'm gonna use my Frostbrand dagger first.
Go for it.
And 15.
You just missed. I'm sorry.
Okay. So I'm gonna use my enchanted dagger.
Go for it.
God.
Now you know how it feels. Now you know how it feels. All right.
Yeah,
so
we're not gonna bother with that
Terra,
disgrace.
with both of your daggers, you swing, but it just hits some of the makeshift pieces of its armor. Is that gonna end your turn?
Yes, that's gonna end my turn.
Talvis, you're up. Barag, you're on deck.
Okay, I'm going to make a Warhammer attack
Sure.
on him. 8. Yeah, 8.
8 total.
Yeah.
What did you roll?
An 8.
You rolled an 8.
Yeah, because it's a what modifier is that?
It would be your strength plus your proficiency because you're proficient in hammers.
Oh, okay. In that case, I rolled a 13.
Still missed. You still have movement, bonus action. Is that going to end your turn?
I'm not too eager to move away from him.
Right. 'Cause it will take an attack of opportunity. If you
Yes,
move.
so that will end my turn.
Okay. All right. Daedalus. No, I'm sorry. Barag, you're up. Daedalus, you're on deck.
I knew it.
So I take one step towards him and I yell in his face. I just look and go, ah!
Nice. He's not viciously mocked, but he is intimidated.
What's my mod? It's a 1, but what's my modifier?
Oh, it's a 1. It's an auto miss if you roll the 1.
Oh yeah. I
All
rolled
right.
a 1.
So I need you to roll a strength feat for me. A strength check.
I think this. Wait, let me look this up real quick. I think I have something that can save me from it. No.
What do you got?
Yeah, I will use my inspiration.
You can if it's a natural 1.
Wait.
If it's a bad roll, yes, but a natural 1 you can't use inspiration. I know it's not very inspiring, but I'm sorry. Them's the rules.
Oh no, it's for damage dash.
What do you got,
okay.
Tara?
Nothing. Nah, it was for damage.
So I need you to roll a strength check, please.
16.
16. All right. So you almost lose your Chimera Rising Hammer. You swing so hard, but you swing up, but you manage to just keep hold of it.
Yes. Okay.
But it missed. You do have your extra attack.
And
so.
action surge. I'm gonna do both.
Ooh, all right.
I'm gonna get this guy.
Go for it.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
No, it missed. Sorry. So that was your second attack. That was your extra attack. So
Yeah.
you're gonna action surge.
Yes.
Okay. So go ahead and roll your attack.
Natural 20.
Nice. All right.
Yes.
So go ahead and roll your damage.
Booyah. And that means I get to roll double.
You get to roll. Yeah. You get to roll twice the amount of dice.
Yes.
Nice roll.
7. Yes. Okay. And come on.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
All right. So 21 plus your strength.
22 to the 12, 25, 26 to the. Oh, no, 25.
25 total.
Yep.
Wow.
Everybody at the table just went, oh.
That is crazy. All right, so you reach back with your Chimera Rising Warhammer, and you swing as hard as you. Well, you swing the first time, you miss, and you come back. You swing the second time, and you actually hit it right in the shoulder. You can hear the collarbone just collapse and break, even underneath its makeshift armor, you just completely decimate his collarbone. Can only use one arm now. All right, so and yeah, you hear it like kind of bark. Is that gonna end your turn?
Yeah, I think I have to because I can't use fire breath or
Right.
anything. So yep, that is
Good turn, Barag.
Yeah.
All right, Daedalus, you are up.
Okay, well, let's see
Big
if I can
vicious hit.
borrow. See, I'm gonna try Eldritch Blast on it.
Go for it. You've got 2 blasts, correct?
Yeah, 2 blasts.
All right, so
So first blast, a 13
plus.
plus the 6.
That's a hit.
Okay, and let's try the second one. 16.
Woo. That's a hit. So describe to me how your Eldritch Blast looks as you form it.
Can it form like to be at least like a person, or does it, or would that be too big?
No. You can form it as a person if you'd like.
Okay, so well, I'm gonna take a cue from my party members. One's gonna be a halfling, the other a dwarf,
Sure.
and they're gonna, and the halfling's gonna jump like, it's gonna be kind of like arcing. The halfling's gonna go this way and slash it, and then the dwarf's gonna come by and smack it.
Nice. So you create these magical eldritch forms from your Eldritch Blast in the shape of 1 halfling and 1 dwarf. And you hit it twice. Go ahead and roll damage 2 times, please.
See, no, that's not it. This is it. Then there's 1. That's a 2
Okay, roll again.
and a 10.
Nice. So 12 points of damage. Nice. Oof. So yeah, it's looking pretty hurt. You could see the fur. You could see it singe right where the Eldritch energy kind of like passed through it. Is that kind of end your turn, Daedalus?
Yes, it. Am I in its range in any sort of way?
You don't know.
Well, just in case I am.
Well, you're not in its melee range.
Oh yeah,
but it does have ranged options.
So I'm gonna just kind of move over here,
Got it.
and that's where I'm gonna stay in my turn.
Sure. Okay, good turn. Daedalus is done, and actually it's his turn, so he's gonna get busy on that dwarf.
Remember, he has disadvantages,
He
right?
does have disadvantage because he was viciously mocked.
Yes.
He rolled a 1.
Well, go ahead, roll the second one.
Well, you can't get much worse than a 1.
Yeah,
but
no, you can't.
I'll roll it anyway, an 18. So,
Yeah, see, I wanted to see what I wanted to see if we get a high number so we could just laugh about the low one.
You definitely.
Alright, so I am going to say strength check. He makes a strength check. So much like you, he's swinging his morning star. He comes down. You just kind of deftly step out of the way of it, and it lands right in the ground, right in front of you. You can just see it make this crater where it lands. For a second, it looked like he almost lost control of his morning star, but he regained it. But he completely missed. But he does get multi-attack, so let's go for the second one. I rolled a 2. I rolled a 1 on the first one and a 2 on the second one. This is not my night, guys. This is not my night. So
Well, it's our night for us.
it's your night. Yeah.
Yay!
All right. So yeah, you managed to avoid both attacks from the Bugbears. Terra, you're up. Talvis, you're on deck. Bless you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna use my dual wield again.
Go for it.
And that was with my enchanted.
What is it?
4, 12.
12. There's a miss, unfortunately.
12 again.
Okay. Unfortunately, this is the second round, right? So again, you have your daggers and you're trying to hit it, but you can't penetrate that armor. So next, we've got Talvis and Barag. You're on deck.
And I will take another Warhammer swing at him.
Go for it.
18.
18 does hit.
Cool.
So go ahead and roll damage.
Six
6 points of damage. Alright, so you bring your mighty Warhammer back and you again hit it right in the jaw. It's losing teeth. It's going to be sucking soup for the rest of its life.
Doing some dental work.
Yeah, for sure. But you've done some major damage, and it looks like it's on its last legs. So, Barag, is that going to be the end of your turn?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So, Barag, you're up. Yes. Daedalus, you're on deck.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19.
That's a hit.
7,
7 plus your strength.
8, 9, 10, 11.
11.
11.
How do you describe the moment of your victory?
Yeah.
So, is his morning star is wedged in the ground still from his initial miss, right?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. So I jump on top of his morning star. I swing my Chimera Rising, knock the shield out, pull it back, and just come down on top of his head. And his jaw just breaks and hits the ground. And upon that, all you hear is a deafening lion roar from my Chimera Rising.
Chimera Rising is very satisfied right now. Yeah. And as your Warhammer comes down on the top of its head, not only, I mean, the jaw actually comes off the skull, and you just see kind of like its tongue kind of like hanging there as it face plants right into the ground. Congratulations, guys. You beat the Bugbears.
Yay!
Alright, so what do you guys want to do?
I say we continue on. Oh no, hold on. Investigate.
Go
I want
ahead.
to see if there's anything on these guys, and then maybe we can harvest some bugbear.
Go for it. I need you to make an investigation roll, please.
16.
Okay. So you're rifling through the pockets and the pouches of the bugbears. You do find 10 gold pieces. And you also, curiously enough, find the miscellaneous human finger kind of stuffed away here and there. For bugbears, it's kind of like beef jerky. They just take a finger out and just pop it in there, and you know.
Give it
On
to
the merry
Talvis.
way.
He already has a human head.
Yeah.
That's true. That's
Putting
true.
something together.
Much golem.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, and you do find 10 gold pieces.
Okay.
All right. So what do you do?
I also want to harvest the fur.
Can I get a survival check, please?
Is it nature or survival?
I will tell you. Why not? Whichever one is higher for you.
Nature.
Nature. All right. Do a nature check then.
Oh yeah.
1 million.
22, 26.
I rolled 1 million on my nature check. Alright, so you do walk away with 9 feet of multicolored bugbear fur, which is disturbing because they are technically intelligent creatures.
If they were really that intelligent, they wouldn't have attacked us.
More vicious mockery.
Yes, he's viciously mocking the DM now. roll psychic damage. I think.
Roll psychic damage.
Somebody get me a Tylenol. My head hurts. Disadvantage on all rolls. Right, so, yeah. So you managed to walk away with about 9 foot of bugbear fur.
As I whistle
As you whistle while you work.
Yeah.
And it's a mess, guys. There's blood and guts everywhere, and she's covered in blood.
Pretty
The guts.
casual about it all.
We're very casual about it.
Says the guy who's carrying a head in a backpack.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
Oi, you
People in
guys
glass
want some
houses.
fur?
Dibs.
Alright, I'll cut you off some fur.
Gosh.
All right. So after a couple of hours of harvesting, you guys walk away. What do you guys do with the corpses? You just kind of leave them on the road, or
Yeah, leave them for what?
just leave them?
Just
for the scavengers.
Yeah.
For the
Yeah.
scavengers.
Let 'em
Yeah, and as she's actually harvesting, you could see a couple of birds of prey and some vultures now starting to kind of form a circle overhead.
Share the wealth.
Yeah. So, so you guys move forward to north, right? You
Yes.
guys are going north? Awesome. What's the marching order? Is it the same?
Same.
Same as always.
Yes.
Weak in the front, strong in the rear.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, in that case, I need to get way back. Yeah, I'm gonna just try to sneak around Terra without her noticing and just kind of scoop my
You're
way.
really gonna try
Yeah.
for the rogue not to notice you?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'd say we roll, guys.
Yeah.
Let's roll some stuff.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna try to, without her noticing, get behind her and in front of Daedalus there.
Go for it.
Oh no.
How high did you roll?
15. Plus
18 plus, what would I add to that?
It would be
Your dexterity.
Dexterity. So yeah, so 18.
Plus your proficiency, if you are proficient in stealth, which you're not.
23.
Yeah, right.
23.
She notices you. So you try to kind of sneak away from the front of the marching column, and Terra's just giving you the stink eye. So what do you do?
I don't think so. You get your ass back in the front.
She
These are
just
your
picks me
people.
up and moves. You could try that if you want.
I just try to grab him by the leg and just kind of like pull him forward. Like, no.
I'm just planting.
Is this going to be contested strength checks?
Yes,
guys?
it's going to be
Contested strength
contested.
checks?
Yes.
Oh wow! All right.
I am not going in the front.
19.
And then is it
Strength plus your the roll plus your strength modifier.
okay?
What is it?
17.
So he
19.
manages to muscle his way back to the rear of the column.
So he manages.
So who's first?
Me.
She has accepted her fate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Reluctantly.
Sometimes you just gotta roll with the punches.
Reluctantly.
Roll with the dice.
Nice. So as you guys continue to march, it's starting to get a little later in the day, late afternoon. The temperature is cooling off, much, not too much, but it's not cold, but it's cooling off noticeably. And you can see some of the forest has been deforested. Some of it, the logs have been worked. As you continue to march forward, off in the distance, about a mile or so, that's when you first see signs of civilization, of the Abreu Nova itself. As you continue to march forward and you are approaching the Abreu Nova, you do see defenses are being built. A giant wall is being constructed. Some of it was there previously and is being repaired. The city is formerly known as the Lorwick Dales, and you know it, Terra, because you're only about a day away from it. So you've been there a few times. Barag, roll a perception check, please. 15. You have been here before, back in your military days. You've been to the Lorwick Dales on maneuvers. And it was a nice city. It was a quaint city, very peaceful. A lot of multiracial, dwarves, elves, humans, all live there. Now it's almost unrecognizable to either one of you from what it once was. It was a large and burgeoning city. Many of the buildings, from the smallest to the most extravagant, are now completely laid in ruins. You see arrows and bolts. They've kind of peppered all the remaining structures, and they're kind of left behind as a grim reminder of a massacre perpetrated on the civilian population not too long ago. A lot of the signs of war seem relatively fresh. Large wall kind of encircles the city. There's broken towers every few hundred feet. There's torn flags and banners of Talos, the Three-Bolt King. They fly high up in the blue sky. The remaining populace, however, looks very haggard. They're injured or they're slowly dying of starvation. You see clouds of black flies buzzing about the city, ushering in a new age of an oncoming pestilence. But within the city, as you start to emerge even closer, you do see a large keep nestled within the middle of the city. In front stands a large statue of Talos, the malicious god of the storm and destruction. It's the center of political, military, and religious power. And you see 3 golden bolts that sit atop the keep like an ominous crown. To the immediate left sits a large Colosseum, fashioned of the toughest dwarven stone, and you recognize it as dwarven stone. It's made to be especially tough and long-lasting. And you guys hear the clang of swords on shields and the roar of the bloodthirsty crowd that thunders out of the packed structure and echoes in the mostly empty streets. Most of the activity seems to be construction of the ramparts and catapults and defenses. Besides that, everybody is in the Colosseum. It's not a haven of peace, but it is a bastion of war and death. Welcome to the first stronghold of the religious order of Talos, the 3-bolt king. Welcome, party, to the Abu Nova.
Hey.
Good job, guys.
Ready for that.
You guys ready for what awaits you in the Abu Nova?
I'm as ready as I'm gonna be. Yeah.
I'm just gonna
Which is
call
to
off
say
from work
not
all
much.
week and call it a day.
What's that?
I'm just gonna call off from work all week, so all I can do is just focus on that. The weekend, I
You
don't
know
have
what?
to worry.
That's good. You have your priorities straight.
Yes.
Nah.
Yes.
Alright.
All right, guys. Good job.
Wish I could do that.
Good job. And and I guess from everybody at the story thus far, thanks for everybody who listens, everybody who likes it, or everybody who hates it. You still took the time to listen, and we appreciate that. So thank you very much. And we'll see you on the next episode of the story thus far. You guys can clap now.
Yeah. Bye.